team head coach, first time in 06, then the summer of 22, and now back here in Nova Scotia in 23. Now we get to hear the roar for the first time in a long time, and it's long overdue.
What's going on, everybody? I should be joined by Olen Parkin here in a minute. So hopefully everything else is good. We're on the YouTube side. We just finished off here with the United States as they got their win, and now it is Canada and Czechia as we got the late game. So Owen, how are you doing here, buddy?
Hey, I'm Redbox from Telecast, so
cool.
I'm sure you've heard it before.
Yes.
But yeah, I am Canadian. Hold on. Oh, I might have to leave to put the game on my speaker. I will be right back.
That is fine. We're just getting underway here. It's 1924.
Now, if I want to be in time with you, it's NHL Network, right?
That's where I'm at now, but if we lag behind 15, 20 seconds or whatever, that's fine, because it usually is the case for me.
I don't know. I just don't know which would be further ahead, TSN or NHL Network. I'm on IPTV, so I got everything.
So whatever will work for you is fine. That's all good for me. We're just going to go ahead and call this game here. So as we know, Canada, especially from the summer side of it, when they end up winning the gold medal, they end up having a lot of returning starters here for this 2023 tournament. So this is a nice little post-Christmas break here as Czechia has it now. They're going to break all the way down to the zone and get a shot, and it's going to be blockered aside there by Benjamin Gaudreau. He's the starter now. He was not the starter 6 months ago. So we'll see how this ends up working out. So Canada, they have a lot of players that you would recognize. Again, Shane Wright from the Seattle Kraken, Connor Bedard is going to be the 2023 top pick, Logan Stankoven from the Stars, John Guenther from the Arizona Coyotes, Joshua Waugh. The list goes on and on and on. There's only a couple other players there from the Red Wings, Donovan Zabringo, things like that are after the under 20 markers, so they're not eligible for this game here today. So Canada has a 3-on-1 off the backhand, so they're going to let one go, and this one gets blocked aside by Tomas Suchanek and knocked out of play. So it's one shot apiece for both squads right now. So we're really just underway. 1841, John out here with you on the play-by-play. I'm joined by Redbox, Olen Parkin here on the Twitter Spaces side. We're going to take this one in. That was Joshua Waugh with a chance right on Suchanek, and that one was knocked away. The interesting part for me, we're going to talk about some of the stuff in the World Juniors. Again, I don't keep my eyes on it all the time, but it's nice to be able to get some early hockey assignments and get some coverage for players that you wouldn't normally see. They were saying Suchanek would be an issue as far as some of the goal. He was not an issue 6 months ago, so I don't expect that to be the case. Czechia was the team that knocked out the United States and knocked them out of the medal round during the summertime. So this is a big-time opportunity here for Czechia and Canada. And I think Czechia can be up to the challenge. I don't know if they're going to beat Canada, but they can give them an effort. Off the backhand, Joshua Waugh lost it, and this is picked up by Czechia there momentarily. Gaucher trying to get back on this toward behind the net, and picked up now by Czechia as they'll try to break this one out. Czechia is in the red jersey, Canada in the all white with the red numbers. Czechia has it now. They'll just bank this in toward the end boards between the players' benches. Everybody comes together, and now it's a 2-on-1 off the backhand breakaway attempt and a score for Team Canada, but maybe they're going to wave this one off. There's hands up in the air. I thought that was a breakaway there. Rasavi was on the bench. There's Colton Dach from the Chicago Blackhawks. I got to take another look at it now. So Dach will break in off the backhand side. Suchanek looks behind him, and the ref blows the whistle. He had this one actually caught in between his legs so that it's no goal. He was looking behind him. He caught it. He didn't even know he had it. So Canada will win the draw now. Try to keep this one in, and Czechia tries to just knock it away as it bounces off Olen Zellweger. Dach is waiting in toward front of the net now as they'll go D to D. Canada will just fire one in there with Brandt Clarke, and this gets knocked away as Canada has some good forechecking behind the net right now, and Clarke will get this one deep. Mastro also out there as well right now for Canada as Czechia tries to get Mahura all the way through, but he breaks in offside. So it's 3-0 in favor of Canada, 17-14, but Suchanik's been strong early. Let me go ahead and make sure I get Owen back on here. Hopefully everything else goes through on this side. Hopefully everything is working on this side. So Canada going to try to take a neutral zone draw right now, but it gets stolen immediately by Coolidge, and the shot is stopped there by Canada. So Kulik is one of the Buffalo Sabres products, and he is one of the high picks at that. So we'll see how he ends up doing right now. Yuri Kulich is going to be one of the top prospects right now for Czechia in general. Is everything else going good for you, Red Box, on this side? Just want to double check in here with you. So Canada, Osman's also with them as they try to jump in on this possible back pass in the slot, but it gets knocked away, knocked out of play. 16:58 left to go in the first. 3-1. So either way, if this stuff doesn't go through on Twitter Spaces, you're always going to have the audio recorder side for me. I always upload it at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. Everything is good on the YouTube side. I appreciate you guys following along. I see some people illegally streaming here as far as some of the YouTube stuff, but you will get the play-by-play from me as this gets through. I got a couple of games tomorrow and Thursday of the World Juniors as well. Wednesdays it's going to be a hockey assignment with Cooper Hopkins per usual. Knocked off the puck a couple of times. The stick goes flying, but Czechia will go all the way back in their own end, although it was 1-on-4s. They're just trying to buy some time, but here's a 3-on-2 opportunity. Try to stick drag through, and Czechia able to just survive and break through it as this gets picked up now by Kulich. We try to do this again. So this isn't working here for Owen Parkin, so I figured that was going to end up being the case. Hopefully it is now, as I try to do it 3 times. Picked up in the high slot, and the shot goes wide, and now Canada will get this toward the right side red line. They're going to work in behind the offense to try to do a wraparound, try to do a half Michigan. As this one gets knocked off a couple of body checks, this has been an active, fun contest so far. Canada will come all the way back in their own end, try to pick this up. Back pass. Now into the neutral zone, Del Mastro's. Stankoven also there toward the middle of the slot. But Czechia will get this one all the way down to Mahara's stretch pass. That's going to be an icing call. I don't think this one is working here on this side, so I might have to just bounce you back and bounce you back in, because for whatever reason, I'm trying to do this. And let's try this again. Hopefully it'll go through. That was a half Michigan on the replay attempt there, and that was an absolutely crazy move. You don't really normally see that in toward a under-20 tournament, but these guys have the skill in Canada. They've been playing together here for most of these guys, at least over the last 3 seasons. So they're getting a lot of prime opportunity right now, and you have Connor Bedard who's going to be out there as one of the top picks in the 2023 draft as well. So Canada loaded for offense, and that's one of those things that you would think is going to push them through the forefront. So 15:24 left to go in the first. It is 3-1, but it feels like a lot more right now. Canada's had a lot of puck possession. 2-time World Junior champions in 2000, 2001 is Czechia. So it's been a long time on that side. Canada just won it in the summertime. So this is picked up now off of a defensive zone draw loss. Czechia is going to have this toward the right side of the faceoff dot. And now we'll get back into the red line as this gets dumped in deep. Canada will intercept as there's a couple body checks in toward the players' bench. Czechia stuck in their own end right now to the left side of the red line. Canada will emerge with this with the puck. They're just going to be patient with this and then fire it toward the right side of the faceoff dot. As there's some active forecheck in here for the Canadians as they have this toward the right side red line. And Kulich will try to get this now with David Spacek. It's the Columbus Blue Jackets product as this goes D to D, and that was through the screen, and then it was a huge save by Suchanik with the right glove. It bounced up in the air. Now this is back to Canada. D to D, they're going to try one more time, and he fights this one off with the paddle of the stick handle. And this one gets knocked down and up into the player's bench. What's going on, Oren? Is everything good now?
Well, that only took 11 tries.
I know, but at least everything else is good now, and I appreciate you even asking me.
I had to get the game on the radio. Apparently, I can't cast to my home pod while I'm blind anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
So, in the sense of it, let's just have fun with it, or whatever that you want to end up doing. So, I'm gonna enjoy this one. I gotta.
It's a nice local craft beer, and I'm enjoying the game.
Yep. I got a couple other World Junior assignments over the next couple days, tomorrow and Thursday, before we get into the medal rounds. Wednesday is just going to be a regular NHL assignment before I'll be done for the week. So this is going to be a penalty against Zach Dean, and he's going to go to the box for slashing. This will put Czechia on the power play. That'll be the first of the game right now. So Czechia does win the draw.
Was it Bedard with the goal?
So that was in the pre-junior, I think, stages there before that, where he did snipe a couple. This is where the games actually count now. We're scoreless at 14-10 left to go in the first. It's Czechia on the power play. Picked up now as this is hit off the embankment. Canada still with it in the offensive end, or at least they're trying to, and Czechia will go all the way back and check up now. So they were in there for about 25 seconds was Czechia, but Canada was pushing them toward the outside and leaving out for Marcel. He's going to drop this in the high slot, get it back off the backhand, and that one goes loose and through the blue paint as it was dangerous there for Canada momentarily, but this gets back to the right side red line. Benjamin Gaudreau is in the goal today here for Canada. He's getting his first actual start there in regular competition because it was Milic last time during the summer. So D-to-D again, Miracek going to let this one fly into the screen again, and that one bounces off the high post, I believe, toward the right side. And Czechia still with it. They've been patient right now. They're working this around toward the left side red line. Picked up now by Canada momentarily. There's 2 players to 1 boxing them in on the left side of the red line. As Allan will try to get to it, but this goes back in the high slot. One-timer gets fired just to the left side of the red line. And that was an absolute rocket. Loose out in front, but Czechia can't put the stick to the eyes. It could have been a backhanded opportunity that Gaudreau would have had a tough time with. And it gets cleared down the ice as Canada finally gets it down. Czechia will check up. It's 15 seconds left to go on their power play. It's looked pretty good right now. In full flight right now is one of the Czechian forwards. They're going to get this to the left side of the red line. Now toward the left side of the dot. 3 players are coming together here for Canada, with Dach especially. And now Marcel Sposal, former Columbus Blue Jacket. Or I should say Columbus Blue Jacket right now. Sposal trying to get it. And this is going to end the power play here for Czechia. But they had 5 shots on their power play. Canada was out shooting them 4-0 before that started. But here comes Canada now as Schaefer gets this one knocked away. And now this could be a race here for Canada just to try to break something out. But Czechia kind of broke that up. It was 1-on-3. Canada will dump this in across the red line now. Czechia trying to get it out of their own zone as Canada will get it back in their own end. They get it across the World Juniors logo. And now Bedard going to try to pass this one across. And this gets picked up. Czechia eludes a huge hit toward the right side of the boards. And now Canada will get this back into the defensive zone. Into the neutral zone. They'll dump it in across the red line last couple times as this gets picked up here by Tomas Sichanik, the Czechian goaltender. Czechia now will try to break out right to left across your radio dial. Go Mastro. We'll get this one across to Olen Zellweger as the D-to-D. We'll pick this up. Logan Stankoven, the Dallas Stars product, has it now toward the right side boards. He gets worked off the puck. Stankoven has it, picks it up a couple of times as he gets around a couple of Czechian stick handles. And now Canada trying to work this around in their own end, but the Czechian forecheck is really pressing right now, making things difficult. Canada still has it right now with Brandt Clarke as one of the defensemen will pinch. And now Kulich will try to get to it. It's a race for the puck to the left side red line. Again, he was a top 5 pick there for the Buffalo Sabres just the last season. Breakaway attempt here for Canada, but they lose the stick handle. It was Joshua Waugh. He could have been 1-on-1 with Tomas Sichanik. And now Clarke will pick it up. Pass across. Bedard waiting toward the right side dot. He wants it. Bedard still holding. Stick handles, fires, and he misses the right side of the post. as this one goes back into the neutral zone. It's been a fast action right now as we're almost halfway through this first period. Mastro with a silky looking back pass, but it blocked before it ever hit Suchanek. 10-10 left to go in this scoreless first period. Redbox joining me here with myself, John, out doing the play-by-play on HL Network. We got all different kinds of views and feeds, so we'll let you know what's going on as we've hit the halfway marker. 6-4 is the shots in favor of Team Canada. As this is the last game of the opening round, as we just opened the IIHF World Tournament today. Picked up now and through the high slot, screen scores! Czechia gets the first goal of the game, and that was just a yeoman shift as they break right in. Sposel having some words with the referee. Czechia just wants to double check and make sure that maybe they didn't bump the goaltender. Sposel with a shot right on, and that could be some definite bumping in there with Benjamin Gaudreau. But we go to a commercial break and we come back, we'll clarify what we got.
So Canada they could not make it work. They came out flying in the first 2-3
Yes.
minutes, and then they relaxed a little too much. Bedard was doing all the work for that Canadian team. You can't have one man doing all the work. We've seen how that's working in Dallas with Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
You can't do that. The Czech Republic or Czechia or whatever we're calling it. They capitalized. They were playing good hockey. As you said, Canada jumped out to a 4-0 shot, and the Czechs were able to take a 4-2 in the next few minutes. That's some good, solid hockey from the Czech Republic. They unfortunately deserve that goal as much as it pains me to say it as a Canadian fan.
Well, considering how quickly they went to a commercial break, I think there's going to be some possible goaltender interference check. I just got the feedback now. I see the pass across, and Gaudreau is being interfered with. It is a good screen out front, and I think there is some body contact, so I would assume this goal is going to go the other way, and Canada will go back to 0-0 here on this side. I love the effort from Czechia anyway on the side of it. But I think this was immediately blown away because there's no way you do that and go to commercial.
Of course, we saw the goal that was called back from Canada in the first 2 minutes. So that's going to be 2 goals called back already. That's insane. And this is, of course, the last game of today. Every night Canada plays, they are the prime time game, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Of course, Canada is playing in Halifax, home of the Halifax Mooseheads of CFJHL.
So what we have right now, I just want to give everybody a quick clarification because it was so quick before it went to commercial. So it was a goal there for Czechia, but it was ruled goaltender interference. So it was called back. We're back at 0, and now Canada is on the power play. So that is what we have right now as I'm looking at some Connor Bedard stats and toward his World Juniors. And in 20 games, he's got 21 goals for the 17-year-old.
So Connor Bedard, I think that's an interesting thing. Where do you think he goes? Who do you think wins the Connor Bedard? He's the clear number 1. And then Adam Fantilli, who's also on the Canadian team, is a pretty clear number 2. Where do you think they go?
I think it really depends on, obviously, and you know as much as I do in the sense of whoever wins those lottery balls. But, I mean, Columbus wasn't expecting to be in that situation. They could end up doing it. The Chicago Blackhawks could end up doing it. The Anaheim Ducks. There's a bunch of teams. And
I mean, Columbus wasn't expected to be in that situation, but basically we were all expecting Columbus to be in that situation.
I would think you and I were, because we know that we're hockey fans on this side of it, as the shot goes through the blue paint. Bedard just missed off the backhand opportunity, and now Canada scores into the one-timer in the high slot, and this one is going to count for sure. Canada gets on the board on the power play. It's 1-0.
Who got it?
We're going to check to see that one right now. I'm going to pull up. This looks like Shane Wright of the Seattle Kraken. So Othmann was providing the screen. This one goes through the blue paint, picked back up. Shane Wright holds into the screen, lets it go. And Zellweger, let's see, he shot the puck. Shane Wright tipped it with the stick. So it's going to be Shane Wright's goal, Zellweger with the primary apple. And Canada gets on the board first. It's 1-0.
So Shane Wright is an interesting story because, of course, he was drafted by the Seattle Kraken.
Mm-hmm.
Started off, I think he played 7 games in Seattle, struggled. They sent him down to their AHL affiliate, came back, scored his first goal, and now he's with the Seattle team. But when he was in the World Juniors last year and in the, first of all, in the tournament that Edmonton had that wasn't to be, and then in the one last summer, he was outstanding. And when he made it up to the majors, he kind of faltered a little bit. But now I think we're going to see Shane. I don't know if he's a Connor Bedard level. Like, people are comparing Bedard to McDavid. They're saying he's a generational talent. I don't know if Shane Wright's that, but I think he's going to make a big impact on Seattle. And I think Seattle, they're a young team. They're up and coming. They're going to do some damage this year. And Shane Wright is definitely going to be a part of that.
Z, I agree with you, and in the sense of it's also very hard to antiquate what you want to do with Shane Wright, right? Because when you think about Seattle in their second season, they're probably in places they didn't expect to be already, competing for a playoff spot. So it makes it really difficult to be able to give Shane Wright the time that he needs to be able to mature and develop, also trying to win at the same time. So I absolutely agree with you. And as far as what we see between Connor Bedard and what we see on the ice, I think the comparisons are lofty, but I could definitely see this kid being a number one from a couple times I've seen them into the World Juniors. So as we're back underneath the action right now, this is picked up by Czechia in the offensive end. They've just conceded 1 goal, but honestly, they played a pretty damn good first period, all things considered. As this is bounced in between a couple of skate blades here, Canada just trying to get this out of their own end. This gets gloved down with the glove hand out of the air. Czechia has this on the D-to-D side now toward the right side face-off line. And we'll put this across the left side red line now. As active back check here for Canada, just trying to get this out of their zone. Have to pivot back, though. The 2 defenders are still back there right now. And here's a breakout pass, a chance for Bedard. And this one is blockered aside there by Sachanik with the stick handle. And now picked up. Canada, Del Mastro will play this one D-to-D. Another long outstretched pass. It's 7 shots to 5. It was the long goal here for Shane Wright as it was tipped out front in the defensive side. And again, I saw a scoreline. Sweden won 11-0 today in their game. So that is a heck of a lot of goals. And the goal totals matter in the tournament if you're getting to the tie point in the standings. Canada has this now to the left side red line. They'll go D-to-D. Now Ostapchuk will fire this one, but it gets blocked by Czechia before it ever hits Sachanik. Canada will try to pick this up and toward the players' bench. As everybody coming together, there's a couple hits, and a lot of players are just trying to take a change right now for Czechia's side. As Kevin Korchinski, former Chicago Blackhawk, I'm going to get this one down the ice. He's going to set to probably join the team in a couple of seasons. There's 3 defensive prospects right now in Canada that's on the Blackhawks. So a big part of that rebuild.
Yeah, big part of the Blackhawks rebuild. What's nice about Twitter Spaces is you can update the score as the game goes along too, which I am doing in the title. But yeah, big prospect for the Blackhawks. Blackhawks are definitely a rebuilding squad. I don't think we're going to see them be a force in the league. I mean, look at Detroit. Detroit is a team that did go through this type of rebuild. Now they're a playoff team, and I will die on that hill. Detroit is absolutely a playoff team. I don't think they go past the first round, but I think the Red Wings are a very capable team this year. I think for the first time in a few years, people should be taking them seriously.
I think when you say that, you're kind of speaking my language a little bit, because I'm broadcasting from Detroit, Michigan, and I'm a diehard Wing Wheel fan, and I always will be. So I'm
a Maple Leafs fan, so we got a bit of a rivalry.
we know what some pain is about to be, and I know I don't want to always just throw the needle in the haystack on the side of not winning a playoff series there, but every time I think about the Toronto Maple Leafs and I see how dynamic they are in the Atlantic Division, they gotta just be able to, once they win a round, I think they can win the Stanley Cup. They have the personnel to do so.
Absolutely, they have the personnel to do so. The big thing is their net, and they got to keep their defense from getting injured every 6 seconds. Matt Murray, I think a lot of people are underselling Matt Murray. I think he's an extremely underrated player. He's from Thunder Bay, of course, where I went to school. But I think Samsonov has not impressed me this season. as much as I hate to say this, we should have tried to keep Anderson. And I was super critical of Anderson all of the time he was in a blue and white uniform.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Matt Murray, great pickup. Sure, he's aging, but he's still good. He's like Mason Crosby with the Packers. He can still kick 50-yarders consistently. Matt Murray can still save consistently. Ilya Samsonov has not convinced me of that in the slightest, and I think we should be using him sparingly, maybe when we're playing teams like Columbus, where we don't really need that intensity. But I think until that point, that's our biggest issue. And we got to keep Morgan Rowley. We got to keep Jake Muzzin healthy. And those should be big concerns for us, too. Because if we don't keep them healthy, that's a crucial part of our team. We cannot rely on Matthews, Marner, Tavares to carry this team without solid defense.
No, I agree with you. I got to check back in here with this action side of it because Connor Bedard tried to do the Michigan again, and then he tried to wrap around and toward the other side. So,
interrupt me if the game starts. Don't feel free to interrupt me. I don't care.
No, you're fine. And Thomas Zachanik had to be on his guard there because I've just seen some highlights all over the place right now. This is picked up here by Yuri Kulich. We'll just play this one toward the right side of the red line, and now Canada will brush this one aside. As Juracek will get this one. And now Canada will intercept. So Ostapchuk will get this one down. Picked up now by Joshua Waugh. Nice toe drag ahead as this is toward the right side of the red line. We've hit about 5:10 left to go in this first period. Owen Parkin and John here with you as a shot from the high slot is in, and that one was not screened. And Canada scores. It's Brandt Clarke. Makes it 2-0 Canadians. So from some of the shots that I've just seen attempted there for Connor Bedard that I thought would be a goal, Brandt Clarke just gets one. He makes it 2-0. And I will say this, in comparison to 6 months ago, I think Thomas Zachanik would definitely be seeing ghosts in behind the net as we got the wraparound attempt there for Connor Bedard, as that was the lacrosse-style goal that you normally see some of these kids able to pull off, but I mean, I've already seen it twice in this tournament in this same game with Canada. So if I'm Zachanik, I'm definitely holding my breath, and I'm hoping the defense behind me can keep these guys away from the front of the blue paint because this could get nasty.
For sure, and I just updated the score real quick in the title there. I think Czechia is a capable team. After the U.S. I don't know if you got to watch any of U.S. Latvia. I was out doing some ice fishing. Got out for the first time this year. I had
Nice.
on in the background. I was not impressed by Team USA's performance. I'm not going to lie. I was not impressed with the team going into this tournament, and I was not impressed that Latvia was able to hold them for 2 periods. That's not a capable team, and I know people are going to say, well, Canada lost to France 4 years ago at the World Championships and then went on to win. This is different. The USA is a young team. They don't have many NHL prospects on their squad. Most of them play in the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys have reason to be concerned, and I think when you get to some later tests in your group, you're going to be challenged. If you're being challenged by Latvia for 40 minutes, I'm sorry. You've got some tough tests ahead of you.
That's what it certainly seems like, and I want to speak to that momentarily there, as there might be looking for Joshua Waugh being offsides possibly. So this could be 3 goals overturned in the same game. And from what I see now off of a super close in, he is offsides before the puck crosses, so this goal's probably not going to count. So it'll be 3 goals. It'll go back to 1-0. And to speak to your point, as far as the United States, again, when I watched a lot of the World Junior stuff during the summertime, it was the same thing. The United States would play a lot of games that were in close. I think the one thing for me that I look at for the U.S. is their goaltending, because they had the starter there of U of M today who got scored on 2 shots in the second period. It was both shots. Didn't have a chance to actually do anything on any of those. But regardless, the other goalies that are there are not picked up by an NHL team. You do have Luke Hughes, but Luke Hughes was one of those guys that made a catastrophic turnover that turned into a 2-on-1 on the other side. They gave up a goal. So
Did they overturn the goal officially?
Right now, we're still waiting for the review side of it. They're taking a couple extra minutes on this one, a couple extra beats.
because I've got the title open here, ready to change it back to 1-0 if it turns out to be.
I appreciate your hard work on that side, because I didn't even know that you could do that on that side. I've been doing
Yeah,
Twitter
there's a
Spaces
little
for a little
button right
bit.
at the top. It says edit space, and I would have to take a bunch of shit out if I wanted to say what period it was in. I can at least put the score. It's not hard at all. It's very simple.
I'll tell you once we do get a chance, but I think they finally got out of the review board, and they're going to give us an official call here momentarily. Refs are still conversing here, so there's 4 Zebras right now that are conversing at the 5:06 marker. Let's see if they come to a consensus here. So as it stands, it's 2-0 Canada, but again, as Owen had mentioned, this could be 3 goals that have been overturned already in the same game. Canada is still going to have a 1-goal lead if this gets pulled back at worst, but here's the official call. Play is offsides, no goal. So it's going to go back to 1-0 to the dismay of the Canadian fans. But again, I will say this, from the way that they've been playing throughout, I think there's definitely going to be more goals in their favor, because they've definitely shown that north-south approach throughout the entire contest.
Yeah, and I'm actually just listening to you for the commentary now. I turned off the radio because it was just noise. Like, it was actually making it hard to hear you. So 1-0. Dying minutes of this first period. We will see what Canada can do here. On a goal by Shane Wright, the Las Vegas Golden Knights prospect. Or Seattle, Jesus, someone.
Yes.
The Seattle Kraken prospect, the other expansion team. Early lead for the Canadians, as it should be. We should win this 5 or 6-0. If we don't, I'm going to be disappointed.
Now, after a Svozil shot there for Czechia, there's some pushing and shoving for the top of the crease there by Canada, as tempers flare only momentarily, a little bit of after Christmas, American Christmas pleasantries. As a stick got caught up in the face, it was Barbenek of Slovakia that hit the goaltender of Canada. As we go into a break, he knocked Benjamin Gaudreau right in the face mask. So, as it stands, it's a 1-0 lead still for Canada, and we'll go to a little bit of a break and come right back.
How much time we got left in the period?
We got about a little over 5 minutes. I think we just passed the 5-minute marker.
So, one interesting thing I apparently learned today, you guys don't have Boxing Day off as a holiday in the U.S.? Is this true?
If it's the day after Christmas, for what it normally would be, I don't think they do. The only thing is the banks are closed. So no banks are open today, but people are going back to work as early as today. Again, myself, I wasn't able to do as many broadcasts as I wanted over the last couple of weeks because COVID was visiting the house. So I got it for the first time, and I was kind of on struggle street, but hopefully.
Did it knock you out?
Yeah, hopefully the voice and the pipes and everything else are staying fresh right now.
Well, you sound good to me. I mean, you've been talking basically nonstop for the past 25 minutes. But, of course, we got more kind of looking ahead on Canada's schedule here, of course. The U.S. and Canada, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. Not in the same group. I think the second year in a row we've been in different groups, but every Canada game will start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Flashpoint doesn't have live standings for this, seriously? Okay. Our next game is the 28th. We'll be taking on Germany at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. The 29th, we'll be battling Austria, and on New Year's Eve, we'll be playing Sweden, which should be a interesting matchup to say the least. Will you have any of those games? I don't blame you if you're not doing Austria.
I am covering a couple of games. So tomorrow I think is going to be Germany and Sweden, and then the Thursday side will be United States and Switzerland. Those will be my next before we get into the medal rounds in the following week.
Those
So
will both be shit shows.
Well, well, we'll see what happens with that, because when I look between Czechia and Canada in the sense of it, I figured this game was going to be pretty good, so I knew it would be good at least on that side.
If I can find somebody to do play-by-play on Saturday, I might do Canada Sweden, but I need, for obvious reasons, I need someone to actually call the game. But if I can find somebody to do that on Saturday, I might host Space 2 in Canada Sweden, because that'll be a good game.
Well, here's the thing that you can do on this side. If you've ever worked with Alec Nava, I was able to work with him once. He does a lot of hockey games on Colorcast.
World Cup final with him.
He would definitely call it. I would imagine that he could take care of you on that side, and you guys could end up having fun with it, because on the New Year's Eve side, I'm not going to be able to be around. Hopefully, I want to get back out there and leave the house.
That's the problem.
I'll double check with him, and I'll let you know.
I could hook him up, though, if he doesn't. I've got the IPTV, so I could hook him up with TSN or NHL Network or whatever he needs. Not hurt at all.
So with 3:30 left to go in this first, Czechia is going to get this one. They'll get a shot down deep, and this is going to be gloved in the red basket by the Canadian goaltender. And hold on, with 3:34 left to go in the first, so it's 9-6. Canada is up 1-0. I was taking a look at Benjamin Gaudreau from Corville, Ontario, from the Sarnia Sting. It was drafted third round, 81st overall by the San Jose Sharks in 2021.
Where in Ontario?
Yes.
Where in Ontario?
I thought it was, let me look, because I have this in front of me. I wish I thought I did. I just have Sarnia Sting, San Jose Sharks. I don't think I have the whole
Did you say
thing.
Oakville, Ontario?
I thought it was a B. but I'm not.
Maybe?
I'm not sure what I saw it too quickly there, so my apologies if I have a little bit of incorrect pronunciation, as this is picked up now near the left side of the red line. Czechia trying to get this out of the spot where they can get toward the right side of the dot and get a shot here, and Canada making life a little bit difficult as one of the Zebras gets in the way toward the right side dot. Czechia has this in behind the office. That's what I call the referees. They look like zebras. As they'll picked up now toward and behind the office of the Canadian netminder. As I'm going to pull up my rosters here really quickly here for Team Canada. This is Benjamin Gaudreau. I want to make sure I always get that right, because I'm used to seeing Thomas Milic from 6 months ago. So Kulik has this knocked away. Keeps this toward the D-to-D side as they pass across. Spot check. We'll let this one go, but this bounces off the Canadian players, and this is picked into the neutral zone now as we hit the 2:25 marker in the first. Dumped down, safely across the red line now by Czechia. Canada has to elude a hit. That was Brandt Clarke that had to get away from a massive body check, now kept toward the forehand side. Great move by Spacek. Finds some space with a cross pass, and this one's going to count. Right on the doorstep off the cross pass. Gaudreau can't make the save. It's 1-1 as David Spacek gets them on the board here for Team Czechia. So this is a couple of goals here on both sides. For my estimation in this first period, this is about as good as it gets between both sides. That was an absolute flyby. So Svozil, the Columbus Blue Jacket, to the other Columbus Blue Jacket. Spacek right on the doorstep. The only thing I would say for Canada on that side is they allowed Spacek to go right in front of the net. Nobody picked him up right off the open cross pass. It was probably a pass that was kind of Datsukian, but at the same time, you got to clear that blue paint out in front for Gaudreau. He couldn't make that save. It was impossible. So 1-1 is the score line now with 2:05 left to go in the first. So David Spacek at 17:48 as this goes back to Suchanek. He plays this with the goal stick. He tries to bomb it all the way down across the neutral zone, and he safely does as this goes back into Canada's defensive end. Canada will try to pick this up. And toward the blue line side, Othmann gets cross-checked a few times, and no call on that side as this gets stepped down the ice. Here comes Czechia, right in the catching glove, as this is held by Gaudreau, as it's 1-1 now. 10-7 in favor of Canada, but the score Chiron tied at 1.
If there was a little more space within because there's lots of information at the title, if there's a little more space, I could say the period too. I'd have to take a step out to do that. But the Czech Republic, a beautiful goal, an absolutely beautiful goal to tie it up at 1. Canada had no options there, and that's going to be a big issue. I don't think this is equivalent to the U.S. and Latvia, but if we lose to the Czechs.
And Czechia, to hold that thought, Owen Parkin, right off the draw, they score again.
No, they don't.
And this is now 2-1. That was a C&I shot. And when you're looking at the Canadian coach, and I'm going to get this in front of me now, I know it's Dennis Williams. He had a look of concern on his face that I would imagine this goes right to the blue point, and it's fired into the screen. No chance for Gaudreau to find it. And this is in. It's 2-1.
I refuse to believe it.
So I want to just throw a couple things out there because when I saw, again, this is a different team, Sweden last year, they ended up getting the bronze and they put the spanking on and scored 11 goals today. So I know that they're going to do something. And Czechia was the team that knocked out the United States where they couldn't even get a bronze. And this is a big physical team right now. They haven't had to use the physicality against Canada, and they're still up 2-1. So David Moravec at 18:23, as we're still underway. I thought the puck might have been ice, but Czechia has it in the offensive zone. They'll fire this one toward the left side of the red line. $1:10 left to go in the first. It's 2-1 Czechia. Shots are 10-9 Canada. Picked up across the red line. A spot check got hit in the face. No call. That was a high stick, but they're able to let that one go across. The spot check will hold. And behind Suchanik now, as it's 50 seconds left to go in this opening frame of the last game of the World Junior Tournament Group A tonight. And a brutal turnover right in front. Stankoven trying to make the pass, gets it back, and they pick it off just in between the blue paint as Czechia dodged a gigantic bullet of their own doing right there. Del Mastro will turn this one over toward the neutral zone side, and then Canada will get back on it. It's a 2-on-2 the other way. Nice toe drag, hold off the backhand, glove down by Canada, and now they'll keep this D-to-D. They'll fire one, and this gets intercepted now by Czechia. Czechia has a 3-on-2 developing toward the right side, and now Canada with the active forecheck. Knock this away. They get this across the logo now. Stankoven with the drop pass here for Waugh. Big save by Suchanik. It's loose. And now this goes back across the left side of the blue line. Del Mastro will check up. They got time for one more shot, but it gets flubbed in the air. And at the end of one, Czechia has got a 2-1 lead.
I'm sorry, so did you say today was the last day of play? I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
What I meant to say, this is the last day of play. And that would be, this is the last game of the opening round. So if I did say that the other way, this is the opening round.
The last game of the opening round is on December 31st.
No, I'm saying for tonight is what I meant to say. This is the last game of the opening round tonight.
Czechia is just outplaying Canada, and this is the exact same problem the U.S. had against Latvia. At the end of the second period, the U.S. led in shots 27-12, and it was 2-all. Canada leads in shots right now, and it's 2-1. Oh man, I'm gonna start getting mad if we check this with one more goal. You're gonna start to see animated red box.
Well, I mean, at the same time, we know what we say, what we like to see, and what we think and we believe. But at the same time, some of these rosters here, especially when I think about Czechia, Sweden, and Finland, I think those are the danger teams. Even for teams like the United States and Canada, you got to make sure that you're ready to play. Because if you're not, they can slap you right across the mouth.
And that's what Czechia has done. By the way, when do we stop calling them the Czech Republic, and when do we start calling them Czechia?
I want to remember this toward the summertime. I think it was several years ago when either one of them seeded and separated, or however the hell that works.
Because I this whole Czechia thing is still kind of new to me. All right, I think that beer I actually had was a Coors Banquet, so I'm going to go get myself a nice craft beer from one of our local breweries here up in northwestern Ontario during the break, but we can keep chatting while I do that. So Connor Bedard and Adam Benton, they're the top two draft picks by most experts at this point. Aside from Chicago, which seems a shoo-in for a bottom spot, where do you think they go? Do you think there's any chance at all that either of them play in Canada? And if so, do they play for Montreal?
Montreal's a good bet, and I would say for Canucks fans, I mean, you hope the season would be a lot better than it is, but that could be a dark horse possibility, maybe.
I don't think the Canucks are a bottom. I don't even think they're a bottom five. I think the Canucks will be somewhere between 16th and 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
I have more faith in them than that. I mean, yeah, sure, they kept their crappy team from last year, but I just think the Canucks will find a way to pull something out. Montreal, though, I think, of course, they made the Stanley Cup final 2 years. There's no reason they should have, but they made the Stanley Cup final 2 years ago, and then they absolutely collapsed, and they ended up being the worst team in the league last year. I think out all the random success.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Cowboys, they're the biggest frauds in the NFL. I think the Montreal Canadiens are the biggest frauds in the NHL. And I know this is coming from a Leafs fan, so you can take that as you will. But I think, even as a neutral viewer, you have to admit, if the Canadiens had hit Carey Price, who of course is out with injury, and he's done some great political work lately. I won't get into that too much because that's not what we're here for. But I think you get into that. They're hurting without Carey Price, man.
Yeah, there's a couple things that you can say for the Canadians. I mean, I understand how you feel about some of that stuff, but I mean, when you make the Stanley Cup finals, regardless of whether they should be there or not, they were there a couple of seasons ago, and now I think this rebuild can probably go a lot quicker than they expected. When you have Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, you got to feel pretty damn good about the future.
Yeah, but am I wrong, though? I mean, I think Price is Carey Price now.
I'm just typing up this stuff here for the box score, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab some water before we get back into the second period here.
Yeah, I can hold the fort down until you do that.
Because we have full game coverage and write-up at hopelessportsguide.wordpress.com. I'll get all my stuff typed in once this is done, and then I'll be back tomorrow for the 1:30 Eastern game between Germany and Sweden. And again, if Sweden scored 11 goals in the opening game, I imagine they're going to have some fun tomorrow.
I might have to go zip off and eat dinner real quick. I'll be back, though.
All right, that's fine. I'll be here. All right, so before I bounce out and go ahead and get some water, I'm just going to give everybody a little quick scoring reset. So the first goal of the game, after a couple of coaches' challenges and overturns, there was Shane Wright at the 10:33 marker from Olen Zellweger and Dylan Guenther. And then on the other side, it was Czechia, a couple straight goals right after that. So it was at the 17:48 marker, David Spacek from, Jacob Urbanek. And then David Moravec scored the second goal from Adam Machura and Marcel. But let me make sure that I get my names correctly here because I think I have one of them on place. So I know it's Spacek and Moravec. So we got those ones correct, but the secondary assist is wrong. Let me make sure. So Adam Machura and Marcel and Urbanek and Svozil. That's the one I forgot. So Stanislav Svozil. Put this one in there for you. So who is winning? Right now it's Czechia. Shane is up 2-1 in this game. I'll go ahead and type that in there right now. So just for everybody that's following along. Czechia is up 2-1. And then I'll give you your goal scorers here for Czechia on this side. I'm going to leave this active scoreboard thing here up because I'm going to need this. Let me just pull this up here really quick for you, and I'll get these in. So Czechia and for Team Canada. So those are your goal scorers and assists after one. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab some water. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Appreciate you sticking with me. We'll be calling the second and third period here in a moment. It's 2-1 Czechia. So David Spacek and David Morenik are your goal scorers here for Czechia. Shane Wright is the goal scorer for Canada. There's been a lot of you popping in and out on the YouTube side. Humbly appreciate it. Owen Parkin's going to join me back for the second period. Red box on the Colorcast side for the second period for this. Just to give some extra commentary and insight, because you know more about this stuff than I do on some of this stuff here. Sweden had an 11-0 win over Austria. I'm going to have the game tomorrow between Sweden and Germany, and that's going to be at 1:30 Eastern, and then Thursday will be the United States and Switzerland. Wednesday is just going to be a regular NHL assignment for New Year's Eve and all that stuff on Saturday. I'm going to be a little bit busy on that side. I'm going to try to get back out of the house after being stuck in there with 3 weeks at that time with COVID. So I'm starting to feel better now. So hopefully everything else will be safe at that point. So United States was able to get a 5-2 victory over Latvia. It was a close game until the third period, but the United States finally pulled away. In our game right now, we're in the intermission. It's 2-1 Czechia after the first period. And then tomorrow, when we come back, I'll be able to go a little bit around the league, but maybe not as much tomorrow because it'll be an early game at 1:30 Eastern. But that's when the NHL and everything else will start back up again tomorrow. Right now, this is the only hockey action if you want to get hockey action. Since we'll cover some World Juniors and some things that you don't often get to see all the time. So I always enjoy that part of it. It was a lot of fun during the summer, so I wanted to see if anyone wanted to follow along during the winter time right now when we're back to our usual time of when it's supposed to be played. So shots on goal 12-9 in favor of Canada. Slot shots and everything else are pretty close, 5-4 on that side. So this is a good contest on both sides right now. I mean, it's pretty even. There was a goal called back here for Canada. As far as the offsides, it's the only one that they showed. But there was at least another one there for Czechia on that side of the goaltender interference that was knocked away. So a couple goal calls that are called back. And at the end of it, it's still 2-1 after one. As we're going to get back underneath the action here in probably a couple minutes. So full coverage is going to follow hopefulsportsguide.wordpress.com. So what I'll do is I'll have coverage of the stories that we do with the write-ups and the play-by-play, and then the other games will just have a scoring. I'll have like a tournament tree at the end of it once we get to like the next week part of it to put all that in there. It'll be all in one space as well. So it should be a lot of fun to do. it's just nice to be able to get some World Juniors and stuff and that in there because we've been covering a lot of hockey stuff with Cooper Hopkins and all that. Hopefully, maybe he can join me for one of the finals as well. So, face-off is underway now, and Czechia has got it. They're going to go left to right in this period. Canada will be right to left. It's going to be Czechia with the top white and the bottom all red. Canada with the white shirts and the black pants. That's 19:53 left to go in the second as this one gets iced. Again, 12 shots to 9 in favor of the Canadians, but it's 2-1 where it matters, and that's Czechia on that side from David Spacek and David Moravec. It was Shane Wright from the Seattle Kraken, the lone goal scorer right now for Team Canada. So I'm going to pull up the rest of my rosters now and move these windows, and we're going to get right back into this here. So Canada will get this into the defensive zone. Pick it up now by Del Mastro. I'll try to get this one down. Del Mastro has it, and now Czechia will find it. Czechia loses it between the center ice, and this gets dumped back down the ice again. Czechia will play this with the back pass, try to go left to right. Going to get all the way down the ice now toward the right side of the face-off dot, centered out dangerously in front. Gaudreau has to hold on to the left post, and now Czechia has this on the forehand. They'll go D to D. Going to walk right in, let one fire, scores! Czechia now up 3-1. A blown assignment in front of the net, and Canada's going to have to pay for it. 3-1. Too much time and space to allow Sfolzl, who already has an assist, to fire and shoot. And mercifully, somebody's got to pick up the right side of the ice. Nobody did, and Gaudreau was hung out to dry. This is unbelievable. You cannot allow these guys time and space to shoot. This is target practice at this point, and the captain makes it 3-1. For Canada, they've had some press. They have tons of time. And for some of the announcers, and I actually agree with them on that side, we've already seen a couple of Michigan attempts. They're playing this more like a scrimmage, maybe because they thought they would punch Czechia right in the mouth. I do think they can come back and score a bunch of goals, but their defense has got to get much better. So now Canada try to pick this up as the shot goes wide. Suchanek have it now toward the right side of the faceoff dot. And now Joshua Waugh holds this off the backhand. We'll play this back D to D. This gets fired as it's tipped out in front, but this one goes wide up into the netting and out of play. 18:48 left to go in the second. Czechia has just made it 3-1. So this is a situation where there is tons of time in the second period, and there is no panic. But I would definitely say that Canada has to get this next goal. If they go down 4-1, even with the offense that they have, that could spell a little bit of a problem. I'm going to start with the offensive zone draw now, but it's done unfairly. We'll do it again. So Stanislav Sfolzl, the goal scorer at 44 seconds from Spacek and Sale, and that's where we are right now, 3-1 scoreline. We're going to do this offensive zone draw again. And there's a little bit of a clock issue going on right now, so that's why they're taking a couple extra beats. Canada will win the offensive zone draw clean. They're going to fire it directly at the net, and this one goes just wide. Picked up now by Czechia. Czechia going to try to go right to left across your radio dial. Get this in across the red line. Couple active stick checks, and now this could be something. Ostapchuk is right behind for a back pass, but it's not needed because Connor Bedard snipes it in the top right corner, and Canada is back within one. So if you want to get a little bit of showcase and skill of Connor Bedard, you can find it right there because it was a back pass that could have been right for Ostapchuk, no problem. Bedard will take it himself. He'll skate right in off of a neutral zone turnover and snipe the top right of the bar as Canada is back within one. That's as quickly as it happens. It kind of just seemed like a turnover that was a little bit meaningless, a little bit harmless, but Connor Bedard able to do it all by himself with a nasty flex of the stick there toward the left side dot all the way to the opposite of the right side of the bar. Beats Suchanek clean, and now it's 3-2. So this is a good offensive game right now in between both. I'm going to pull this back up right now. and try to get this all set up. Because again, for whatever reason, this is not working. Try to remove and put back in, I guess. So my apologies, trying to get everything squared away on the Twitter Spaces side. We're all good on the YouTube side. It's been a thrilling contest right now. Czechia just trying to buy some space. It was a 1-on-4, and Czechia was able to skate this one all the way in as this is picked up now. Czechia still with it toward behind the office of Gaudreau. Couple active stick checks here between Team Canada and Team Czechia as Canada will get this across the red line now.
So I went to eat dinner, and I came back and I had no audio, so I had to X out and come back in. Well,
there is a bunch of stuff that has happened right now. It's 3-2 now, Czechia with the lead, as there's been a couple goals both ways. Connor Bedard with the latest one as a toe drag ahead as this gets picked up by Mastro and dumped out of play with 17:15 left to go in the second. So already a couple goals in. Connor Bedard getting another look at it off the replay, and that was an actual pretty good stick attempt there from spot check, but Connor Bedard with a little bit too much speed as he was able to just loft the puck. A beautiful wrist shot toward the opposite end, top right of the bar, to get Canada back within one. So 22 goals in 21 games. Everything else good on your side, Owen?
Yeah, I'm good now. I just updated the score and the title.
So Spacek tries to tip this one in front, but Gaudreau makes a save, sees it all the way, and Czechia will get another offensive zone draw. 14 shots to 10 in favor of Canada, but the score line is 3-2. This has been a high-scoring game.
How much time we got left in the period?
So right now we have about 17 minutes left to go.
Dude, I don't think I've ever eaten dinner so fast in my life to try and get back here in time, and I came back and it was 3-1. I was like, shit.
No, this is a nuts game right now. So Logan Stankoven, the Devil Stars product, trying to win the draw here for Canada. He can't as this one gets punched ahead with the stick. Picked up now by Czechia, trying to keep this alive. They'll center it dangerously to the left side of the blue paint. And now Canada can try to break out, although it's 3-on-2. Nice backhanded effort trying to find Bedard again, as this still stays with Canada. Bedard right in front of the office right now. Del Mastro going to play a pass in deep as Suchanek has to watch near the right side of the post. Canada trying to get to it, and Czechia will find it in between the D-to-D pass, get this into the neutral zone. We'll see if Canada continue to press a little bit after that Connor Bedard goal, as it's 3-2 with 16:25 left to go in the second. Canada, good active forecheck there by Czechia, but a big hit on the other side as Spacek knocks his stick down. It got knocked out of his hand, and now cross pass. Here's a big-time hip check for Svozil to knock one of the Canadian players down, and now Czechia will collect. Right to left they go. As this is intercepted now near the right side dotted, Team Canada trying to waft this out of the defensive end. Now they do. Quick break off of a 2-on-1 back pass. Joshua Waugh can't find it. There's massive humanity everywhere right now as bodies are flying between both teams. Czechia with an active stick. Canada will get this down between the red line. Dump this down. Another huge hit by Canada delivered. As this game's getting physical and nasty, and Al's check is down. He's holding his mouth, and some Czechian players are coming back to his defense. Don't know if he has a little bit of a cut near his nose. They're showing Dean going back to the box. Maybe he was the one that delivered the big hit. Al's check got destroyed near the left side of the boards, and they immediately stopped play. He took a humongous hit. Regardless of whatever side you're rooting here for today, you just want to hope that he's going to be okay after taking a monster hit like that. And this game has definitely turned the physicality in the second period after seeing a couple of goals. And I want to take another look at this if I can, if they show it. So Dean is racing across. Czech has he had his back turned. He faced up there momentarily, and he took a stick right up to the mouth with a cross check. A stick and an elbow right to the mouth. So I would be surprised if this is not at least a 2-minute minor, maybe more. I would say at least 2. There is blood on the top of his nose.
So Canada will go on the power play and hopefully get one back here.
So right now, Czech is going to the player's bench. He's going into the room, and the refs are putting the headset on to see if Czechia is going to go to a 5-minute power play. And every time I see the hit, it's not much of a back turn, but it's kind of the cross check with the bunt of the stick is right on top of the nose and into the face. As he knocked him pretty silly on the other side of the L's check. That's why he went right back into the dressing room. So backhanded clearing attempt by Stankoven was the one that started all this. It was a big time hit by Dean, right on check. And just a cascade of boos there from the crowd. Obviously, they don't like the call, but I don't know what else you can say. There's going to be at least a penalty on this one for Canada. I just don't know how many minutes just yet, but it was the brunt of the stick and the elbow right into the face of Czech at high speed. So 15:39, we'll have to go in the second. I know the announcers on TSN side of the TV feed NHL Network saying it would be a clean hit in the NHL, but this isn't the NHL. That's what one of them astutely pointed out. So we're going to get something. We're just going to figure out what it is right now as referees are continuing to look at the board and talk this over. That's where you're getting a little bit of extended talking from me.
Yeah, this has been a great game so far. Canada just needs to step it up a little bit. That's the big issue. Canada, they've been playing kind of relaxed in the defensive zone. You can't do that against Czechia. Czechia is a good hockey nation, of course, very close to Russia, who unfortunately is not here. I wish they were. It would increase. We wouldn't have to have Austria here if Russia was here. It'd be a much higher quality group. So that's disappointing.
So update.
I don't understand why they're banned, but you know.
Update here.
Czech Republic, they're a very capable team. And if they beat Canada today, I would be surprised, but I'm not surprised that we're giving them a fight.
So here's the deal. On the update, and this is a big time one right now. Dean is kicked out of the game. 5-minute major, he's done. So Czechia is going to have a 5-minute power play no matter what. Yes, I am. So I am here on this side. Everybody on the YouTube side can hear me on this side. So it's a 5-minute major against Canada right now, and they're going to have to try to kill this one. So this is big time. I know they said it on the TSN side that this would be a clean hit the other way, but this is not the same. So I was just double checking on the Twitter Spaces side, guys. My apologies. 15:39 left to go in the second. It's a 5-minute power play here for Czechia. Been a little bit of issues there on that side. So hopefully that ends up fixing itself. Hopefully everybody on YouTube, let me know if you can hear me okay on that side. Leave a comment on that. So picked up, Czechia's got 5 minutes on the power play. They're up by 1. This is a big time opportunity to at least get one off the slap shot. As this one gets blocked, this goes back to Spacek. Going to hold is Czechia. They have it in the high slot now. Czechia will still keep this in the high slot with Spacek. Going to wait, fire to the screen. It goes back to him. Another shot goes high off the inboards. Czechia trying to be hyenas on hamburger meat right now as they'll pick this one back up. Fire again to the high slot, and that one goes high and wide toward the right side of the post and dumped down. Canada's still got to do this for another 4 minutes as this is picked up. Czechia's got a full 5 minutes to work with on the power play. So no matter what, even if they score, it's still going to continue toward the forehand side. Now, big time hit on the other end as Othmann drops his stick. This game is getting very physical as this one is dumped back down the ice. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fix this again, and hopefully this will fix itself. Spacek will get this one. Sposal, pick it back up. Czechia has it in behind the office here. Gaudreau. They're going to go D to D, but had a line change and couldn't get back there in time as it's now 3:30 left to go on the major. Czechia trying to go left to right. Nice move. Off the backhand, trying to center it out in front. And Gaudreau holding on to that left post, but the puck never got there. And Canada able to safely dump this one down the ice. It's Suchanek. We'll get to it. Zellweger goes to the player's bench right now, but he looks no worse for wear. He's just come back from the line changes. The camera cut. Czechia. Svozil trying to get this one deep. It's Svozil and spot check. The Columbus Blue Jackets out there right now. Fired in the high slot. Big save by Gaudreau as he's got near the left side of the post. Now Czechia trying to find it again. Canada desperately trying to kill this 5-minute major with 13:25 left to go in the second. Picked up. Joshua Waugh off the backhand. Czechia, we'll get to it. 2:25 left to go in their power play. It's 3-2 still the score line. Canada's at least killed 2.5 minutes of this, but they got to do it again. And now an offside entry here for Czechia. 2:22 left to go in the major power play. And we're going to take a quick break, and I will come right back. So I know that you guys will go ahead and vote. Hell, there's been a lot of votes right now. I said, is Czechia going to get an upset? Team Canada right now. So 75% of you said no. 25% say yes out of 12 votes. Right now, Czechia is still up 3-2 in this contest. This is a game that could go either way.
And it's hard to do. It's hard to stay in that shooting lane when you're trying to go sideways, but you know the guys on the bench certainly appreciate the effort. One area that kind of wants to clean up there, like 2-3 times in that first couple of minutes, they had the puck on their stick and we're not able to.
So checking back in from the break, 2:22 left to go in the 5-minute major. Czechia is on the power play. They have a 3-2 lead. Shots are 15-13 in favor of the Canadians, but they're down on the scoreboard right now. Still tons of time left to go in this game. About 13 minutes left to go. John out here with you doing the play-by-play on Twitter Spaces and the YouTube side, following along on NHL Network, where you can find all the games within the U.S. region, or TSN in Canada. This is the only hockey game, really the only hockey games of the day here for the IIHF. No NHL games until tomorrow. So a good chance to be able to check some prospect tournament action of the under 20 right now, the 2023 World Juniors. D2D, you're a check. Let's one fly. Big save there by Gaudreau to the left side of the post. Pick it back up. Now toward the right side of the dot. It's your check. Has it. Tries to leave it here for Svozil. Svozil centered this one out toward the left side dot. And now Czechia will pick it back up with Jiricek. Has it. He's going to leave this off the embankment. Going to fire one near the right side of the bars. That one just missed the post and got dumped down. And here's an opportunity off a shorthanded. It could have been a 2-on-0, but the pass was actually too far. Zellweger was down deep, and Czechia was caught on a brutal line change, and it was a 2-on-0 the other way, but it didn't materialize. And now Jiricek. We'll get to this here. Czechia centered it out. Bang it out of the air and scores! Czechia takes up 4-2 lead. Chevlar gives Czechia the latest goal. And boy, oh boy, they still have time on this 5-minute major. They are back up by 2. It's now 4-2. So a near 2-on-0 shorthanded opportunity for Canada turns into danger on the other end. Chemlar right on the doorstep. Again, nobody in front of the blue paint for Gaudreau as he bats it out of the air in close. I could have scored that one. And now it is 4-2 in favor of Team Czechia. So I know I had Owen Parkin and Redbox on the Twitter Spaces side of it saying some of the games I might be taking are a crap show. This one is definitely not. And this is a situation where you keep your eyes and your ears peeled for the things that you see, because it's a 2-goal deficit for Canada. And they're still on the kill for another minute as Czechia is up 4-2. Czechia gets this in across the red line now. Safely dump it in. Zellweger, it eludes him, but Canada gets this one down. 11:20 left to go in the second. Czechia has just scored again as they got 2 goals in the second period. Here's an opportunity. Scores! Czechia 5-2. Unbelievable. Canada is getting their barn doors blown off right now, and I don't know what to say. 11:13 left to go in the second. 3 goals in the second for Czechia, and I think Thomas Milic is going to come in the net and relieve Gaudreau of his duties, because Czechia is killing them on this side. But at the same time, when I throw it out there, this is a situation, humbly, where there is nobody ever in front of the net to help Gaudreau. Yes, that one went off his backside and into the net. But one of the situations where Canada's defense has been porous, very, very porous. And maybe one of those situations, too, when you saw a couple of Michigan wraparounds with the courtesy of Connor Bedard. This is a completely different estimation. And as they say in between the pre-tournament games that you had a couple days ago before we officially got things kicked off tonight, those games don't mean much. And when you come back into this one, it's a whole different animal. And from what I saw 6 months ago when Czechia knocked off the United States and used big physicality and scored some goals, well, now they're scoring goals and not having to use the physicality. And Canada needs a stern wake-up call as it's 5-2. Czechia with the puck. They have it now near the right side of the dot. They'll pick it back up. Stankoven stuck in his own end. Canada just trying to get right to left. They haven't been able to do much of that in the period. And now Bedard holding, lost it. Czechia might have something, but good active stick check there as this one gets knocked down the ice. Canada will pick it up. Hybrid icing against Czechia. Matis Menzik from Kos and Suchanek. So the goaltender got an assist on the latest one. It's 5-2. Czechia leads it on the shot board. They lead on the goal board on both sides. If you were to ask me what the score line would have been, I'll be honest with you. When I see 5-2 on the score sheet, I think, okay, Canada won the game 5-2. It's 5-2 in the second period, and Czechia is up 5-2. So, boy, oh boy, this is a heck of a game right now. It's going to make me wonder what I'm going to see tomorrow after Sweden just scored 12 goals. We're going to do the Sweden-Germany game tomorrow. So picked up and behind the office now. Canada has a lot of work to do. Normally, I would say there's tons of time right now with 10 minutes left to go in the second. But this is a completely different game right now. And it looks completely one-sided for a team I didn't expect. So Othmann will get it. Czechia won the bronze 6 months ago. So they're definitely a team that can do it. Othmann makes a drop pass, but nobody's home there for Canada. We'll get this back across the neutral zone side with the 9:30 mark of the second period. John Under within the play-by-play. It's a zone entry, and the shot goes wide. So Chanek just watch it go to the right post as this one gets dumped down. Del Mastro tries to get to it. Thomas Milic is now the goaltender here, as Gaudreau had given up 5 here for Canada, but at the same time, his defense kind of hung him out to dry. 2-on-1 opportunity. Joshua Waugh, Stankoven and Waugh, but Stankoven lost it. Good defense there by Czechia. And now they'll look to make something happen. It's 1-on-3. Going to hold is Kulik. The Buffalo Sabres product, he got worked over on that side as this is picked up by Canada. Canada now with Joshua Waugh. We'll get this in across the red line safely. It's a race for the puck. Canada trying to find it. They need to make something happen here. They really need this next goal down 5-2. This one is bounced up in the air. This is bouncing between Suchanek. It's a jam for the puck near the right side of the blue paint, and now some fists are off And there's some pushing and shoving. Othmann comes together there with Chedlar. A hammer fist down on the other side for Canada to try to get Joshua Waugh away from the headlock. As things are getting very interesting, and I know I said that a couple times, but Canada isn't really ready to play the offensive hockey. They're more interested on the other things right now as we go to a commercial break. Crazy.
The NHL is outdoors once again. Biggest stage of the regular season. Make your years classical. Outdoor hockey returns. The place is buzzing. Spend your New Year's with us. Coverage of the 2023 Discover NHL Winter Classic begins New Year's Day on NHL Network.
Canada heads the power play, trying to cut it a 3-goal deficit. Almost had it down to a cover. Give and go, and you cannot.
So I appreciate you guys following along on the YouTube side. It's been pretty active there. Not a lot of comments, but pretty active on that side. Now we'll go ahead and give you your goal scorers and an update when we get back into the second period. I've been updating the score sheet side of it. Let me just do this right now. So it's going to be a power play here for Canada as they get one a little bit on the roughhousing, and the one-timer gets stopped there by Suchanek. Czechia trying to get this out of the zone, but they can't. Stankoven now with Othmann. Othmann with the cross pass. Nice setup there for Canada, but they couldn't make anything happen. And Czechia will get this one down the ice. Milic will play it now ahead for Del Mastro. He'll take his time. Del Mastro going to leave it here for Othmann. And now Canada, Connor Bedard gets the entry. Nice toe drag for Bedard. Going to leave it here. Othmann will collect. Now back from Bedard to Othmann as they play crisscross. Zellweger, Bedard with a couple extra moves, and this one gets stopped by Suchanek. So Connor Bedard for Team Canada, I can definitely say this. He's been the most noticeable forward. He's been really good. He's been showing the complete bag of tricks. He's been doing everything else that he's needed to do right now to try to get Canada back within this game. But what Canada really needs is defense. They haven't shown a lot of it right now. Face-off, won by Canada. Going to fire one quickly. This goes off the stick of Suchanek and picked up. This is kept along the blue line now as Canada will move this one quickly. Othmann's still out there right now. He's going to take his time. He's going to go D to D. Hold. Lost the puck there. Was one of the Canadian forwards. As this is kept it across the blue line. One-timer goes just wide. Rebound. What a block in front by Svozil. To save Savannah check right there. Suchanek has to be now on the left side post and waiting. Canada crisscrossing. One-timer. What a stop out of midair as he just robbed Othmann. Here comes the 1T again. And now the fake and hold. Canada with it. This one knocks the stick out of his hand. It gets knocked up in the air. And Svozil comes back to congratulate his goaltender because that was one hell of a sequence there as he made 3 miraculous stops. That is absolutely unreal. It was a wide open net for Othmann to shoot at, and Thomas Suchanek said no. Absolutely unreal. 7:15 left to go in this second. Canada's power play still got 31 seconds left. I got to measure myself because I feel like I'm about to lose my voice. And I was doing pretty good before all the COVID stuff. So 1-3 record at the World Juniors for Suchanek with 355 goals against. But again, I think he gets roughed up in certain games, and he looks really good in other games. As Coach Williams is going to look on the other side for Canada, I think we're going to a 4-on-4, but only for 27 seconds. So Canada goes back to the box. And I will pull this back up there as far as my rosters. And it's just a blatant tripping. No doubt about it. So Canada will go right to the box. It'll be 4-on-4 for 27 seconds before Czechia goes back to the power play as he just knocked down David Urich. And that was inauspicious there. Inexplicably, can't do that. So Dylan Gaucher is going to go to the box for tripping. 12:49 left to go. At that marker, 7:11 left to go in the second period, I should say. John out here with you, broadcasting the IIHF World Juniors final game of the night. The Group A 2023 World Juniors between Czechia and Canada. About 7 minutes left to go in the second frame. Joshua Waugh, he lost it. And this is picked up by Logan Stankoven. Stankoven will go D to D. Now back here, Waugh. Waugh going to take his time now with Olen Zellweger. Zellweger has in the high slot. He's going to hold as this goes to Waugh. Waugh, make a pass across, and this gets picked up. Zellweger trying to get to it. Czechia will be on the power play, but again, they got to get this puck out of their own zone after the abbreviated 4-on-4. Canada has it shorthanded now, walks in and shoots, and misses toward the left side of the post as this gets picked up here. Stankoven goes all the way back in his own end. Canada trying to get this one down as this goes back now to Joshua Waugh. It's 1-on-3. Good defense there by David Urich. As they'll pick it up here for Czechia. Urich trying to go left to right. Now it's 1-on-4. He gains the entry. Urich with a shot. Milic makes the save. Urich picks it back up. He's going to leave it here for a Czechian teammate. Goes back to Urich now. What a shift. What timer goes just wide. That could have made it 6-2. Czechia is still on the power play right now. 45 seconds left to go. They look really good. Urich has it now. Yuri Kulik waiting on near the right side of the dot. He wants the 1T. He's still in that same area, trying to look like Ovechkin. Here he comes, fires the shot toward the right side of the bar as that one gets stopped by Milic. Czechia holds, and now they'll just turn this over. It's a race for the puck. Czechia's going to get to it because it's 2-on-1, and this goes back for David Urich. Urich with the bomb. As Czechia looking to go left-right again. 15 seconds to go on their power play off the forehand side. Czechia try to find it. Spot check. We'll get to a big hit on the other end. As this goes 5 seconds, as the puck goes off the glass, we get a stoppage. 5:16 left to go in the second. Again, I'll say this. Thank you to everyone that has joined me here in between this Czechia and Canada opener of the final game of the night between Czechia and Canada. It's 5-2 Czechia. They've scored 3 goals in this third period. It's been a game where really all you can say is they've dominated where they needed to. I know what it says in the shop board, 20-18 in favor of Canada, but those better chances, some of those other wraparounds and things like that, those have been put to stop. A couple Michigan plays by Connor Bedard, that's been put to stop. Bedard's been the best player for Team Canada, no doubt about it. And I'm not just saying that because of a top possible pick in 2023, but they got to find some defense here more than anything else. So Ostapchuk will block this one as Czechia tries to pick it back up. 4:50 left to go in the second. Kevin Korchinski, Chicago Blackhawks product. We'll get it now. Gets it across the line, Connor Bedard, but it's offsides. 4:47 left to go in the second. We'll get a stoppage. Come right back. 5-2 Czechia.
It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and has weight and stress. It's dynamically and adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. And it's stages that motivate you stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Total. I used to be a cat lady.
Now I'm a cat goddess, thanks to Pretty Litter. It soaks up odor better than any cat litter I've ever used. It's ultra light and changes color to monitor cat health. Pretty Litter tells you what your cat can, because a happy feline makes life feline. And Pretty Litter delivers to your door. It's all pretty natural, if you ask me. Go to prettylitter.com.
the show that critics call jaw-dropping visually. A blast from start to finish. Black Adam. Winning shots now streaming on Crane. 5-2 Czechia lead Canada. Make the point. All these penalties.
So neutral zone draw. This one is won by Canada as this gets dumped down the ice quickly. See if Canada can get another goal here in this second period. They really need one. They're down 5-2. This gets them through the neutral zone. Picked up here, Czechia trying to go the other way quickly. And Ostapchuk will get to it for Team Canada. Kevin Korchinski will play this one across. And here comes Canada, right to left. Here's a drop for Bedard. And this one gets knocked away with the active stick check as Canada has to go back across the red line. Canada stuck in their own end. And this gets turned over. Czechia has a chance toward the offensive side as Kulish will get to it. Kevin Korchinski trying to knock him away with the help of Ethan Del Mastro. Now Canada gains the entry. And Brennan Othmann will fire this pass toward the middle. Del Mastro was there. Picked up Connor Bedard. Keeps it off the forehand. As this goes back to Olen Zellweger. Couple of shots. Second opportunity goes wide. The first one was saved. And are we getting another penalty? No, we're not. The play is still alive. Othmann going to hold. Now with Zellweger. Zellweger. He's going to race toward the right side, try to get to the neutral zone as he gets canceled off as this touches the stick of Thomas Milic. Milic will get this one to Ethan Del Mastro. Del Mastro plays a pass. Chance for Logan Stankoven, and he gets knocked down. Czechia will find this now toward the neutral zone side as Canada will get it one dumped in deep with Fantilli. Fantilli now gets this dumped in as Canada trying to keep this alive toward the right side boards, but they cannot. It's a race for the puck. It's a one-on-one. It's going to be won there by Czechia. Milic holding on to the right side post, and now Canada will find it. Milic gets a nice pass there for Stankoven. Stankoven now trying to get this back across to Del Mastro, Brandt Clarke. Extra pass, Stankoven, as this gets knocked out of the air. Stankoven will collect, get this here for Fantilli, and this rattled around the kick plate. 2:30 left to go in the second. Here's a chance now for Canada, holding off the forehand side as Allan will get to it. And now Brandt Clarke will play this near the left side of the red line. This looks like a power play. Clarke going to fire one. This one goes high off the oven boards toward the right side, picked up now by Allan. He's going to fire this one, but this gets blocked by David Spacek. Canada trying to find this now. They're having a little bit of press here toward the end of the second period. Where has this been throughout the game? Canada has it now. Clarke will back pass it beautifully, set up here for Stankoven, and that one gets fired wide. Urich trying to get it out with Spacek. They still can't. Canada's forecheck has been relentless as this goes back down the zone. So much ado about nothing, though, but it's going to be an icing. So tired Czechians on the ice cannot change. Canada can with a $1.50 left to go in this second period. So good contest right now. 21-18 are the shots. Canada has 2 goals. Czechia has got 5. This has been a situation where I wanted to throw this in the chat. 16 votes. I said, is Czechia going to get the upset today? 62% of you said no. 38% of you said yes with 16 votes. I think the yes looks pretty good right now. But Czechia really cannot concede a goal here. They need to keep a 3-goal advantage going into the second. They lose the defensive zone draws. It goes back to Clarke. In the high slot, one stop by Suchek as he slides toward the right side of the post. But Canada still with it. Stankoven off the backhand. He's going to fire one. This is another rebound. Suchek said no on that one. Zellweger will collect. Boy, has he been marvelous in this game. $1.20 left to go in this second. 22 shots to 18 now. And Suchek has been really good. Othmann trying to get to it. And this gets knocked away by Czechian defense. Team Czechia will get it down. Zellweger collects. $1.05 left to go in this second period. John out here with you for the World Juniors between Czechia and Canada. This is a monumental score line right now, but it's still the second period. As this gets knocked out of the hands there of a couple Czechians. And now into the offensive zone. Canada trying to brush this one out right now. As this gets dumped into the neutral zone. There's a chance Fantilli trying to play one across for Connor Bedard. Bedard off the backhand trying to keep this alive. Fantilli behind the office of Tomas Suchanek. 35 seconds left to go in this second period. Bedard will crisscross. Here's a chance. Off the backhand, it was centered through the blue paint, and it was dangerous, but Canada still has it, but they can't keep it in. Czechia can take a breath there momentarily. If they take their change, they got to do it quick. Stankoven, Dallas Star, series of moves. He's still with it. He was able to beat 3 Czechians. As this goes back now to Kevin Korchinski. 10 seconds left to go in the second. Loose now toward the left side of the red line. Canada's still with it. They got to fire one quickly. Running out of time. They do. Suchanek says no, and that's going to end the second period. 5-2 scoreline. Team Czechia. All they got to do is take this third, and they could deal a serious blow for Canada right in the opener. One loss isn't going to be everything in the opener here, but still, this would be a surprising scoreline. When we come back, we'll call this third period, and I'll update the score box inside the YouTube side. So I'm going to update my score as far as what's going to be on the YouTube side and for the box for the game story, and then we will continue.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
It's not just that we're the best. It's that for the first time ever, we're all together to bring out your best. Whatever that means to you.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop. This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who scans this QR code. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Scan the QR code. Don't wait. Scan the code now and ask about the Bosley guarantee.
Sunday, the Rangers head to Florida for a big game hunt. When our Timmy Bedard and the Rangers face Matthew Tkachuk and the Panthers. Hockey begins Sunday 5 Eastern on NHL Network.
My apologies, taking a little bit longer here to do the box score because I just want to make sure I get the spelling right for all these names.
Two of them on that 5-minute game for a 5-2 lead. Let's hear from Nathan Gaucher of Canada with Fantilli.
Nathan, this game has a lot of penalties. How do you feel that's impacting Canada's typical style of play?
Of course, yeah, it can impact. We don't want to play on penalty kill. Of course, we got a very on power play. Some games are getting like that special units, but we want to go back to our game, the grinding ways, and putting some pucks on that.
You've played in big games before where you trailed, both in this tournament and the Junior Hockey League playoffs. What has to happen to shift momentum back into your favor?
I mean, just being positive out there, helping out each other, putting some pucks. We play the Canadian way, just putting some pucks on that. I mean, it's our strength, and I think we need to use it.
Same thing.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, Jake, got you back with Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. Canadian fans wouldn't agree right now, but we always say we love this tournament because it can be wildly unpredictable. And it can be a tournament with a team with 9 first-round draft picks, soon to be 11. 3 guys currently playing in the NHL can be down 5-2 with a team with 2 first-round draft picks. You don't win games just based on draft picks. Your assessment of what's happened.
Well, I think we can cool the Jets on one of the super teams of the World Juniors, one of the best teams ever, not 95, not 2005 teams. We decided that afterwards, 10 years down the road with TSN, we knew the best stuff was better than anybody. It just seems like the players were talking about it. I'd have a mandate saying, you guys aren't talking about that. Our goal is to win hockey games and achieve the ultimate goal. Just seemed to be a little quick and a little bit crazy on that.
Well, you're great about to that in our preview show, but to his credit, he's saying they have the potential to be this if they play up to the potential of what they can look like, and certainly they haven't done that through 2 periods of play here. So they come out down 2-1, right? And you expect kind of Canada to come out flying. How devastating was that first check?
You thought they were going to come out there and this cycle game, the physicality, and that was the largest thing from Team Canada. You could talk about situational awareness in their own zone, and that's exactly what happened. Fantilli and Stankoven, one of them has to understand that defense is wide.
Okay, so I updated the score sheet here. Let me go ahead and give you the goals. So it started in the second. It started early. So it was Stanislav Svozil from David Spacek and Edmund Sale. And then again, let's just Yaroslav Shimler on the power play from David Urich and Matthias Mensik. And then Jakub Kos and Tomas Suchanik from Mensik was the last one. So 3 goals for Czechia in the second. Connor Bedard from Shane Wright and Kevin Korchinski was the only goal for Canada in that second period. So a goal in 44 seconds for Czechia, 8:14, 8:47. And then for Canada at the 129 marker from Connor Bedard, he's got a goal and assist. They showed the hit from Dean on Al's check to determine if that was going to be a 5-minute major or not. Obviously, the Canadian TSN side of it will tell you that that's not a penalty. And on the NHL side of it, they'll probably tell you that's not a penalty. But we're not playing NHL hockey. We're playing World Juniors. And that was a lot of speed on the other side there for Dean. And he got busted. And I think the Al's check cut on the top of the nose probably helped. It was a 5-minute major. And it was 2 power play goals there for Czechia because of it.
Well, we thought that Ostapchuk did a great job in particular, and they really pushed to the outside. They were able to get the puck through down the end, and they were able to shut down at the blue line. But then all of a sudden, at the dying minutes of that 5-on-4, 4-5 minutes, this is where it happens, right? Just losing coverage, and that's something that you have to make sure that you're tracking back. If you're there, you have the numbers, but you don't pick up. But when that happens, you know, it winds up in the back of your net again. There to have a look at it, Duck is facing his goaltender, Gaudreau. You have to make sure that you're picking up somebody. Again, pitching here is okay. You got even numbers here, relatively 2-on-1. You got backtracking, and then you don't pick up. And that one there, though, is a weak one. Gaudreau has to have that. He's cheating off of his post. You can see the shot coming from outside the dot, and then Milic comes in.
Yeah, that's the end of Gaudreau on this night. And you had talked about before that there was a platoon system that went through the pre-tournament games that was going to continue, and maybe we wouldn't know who the starter was until New Year's Eve. Does that change now? If Milic is good tonight and then Milic is good in his next start, you have to reassess.
So right now, 20 votes. Can Czechia get an upset? 60% say no, 40% say yes. Again, as the time continues to dwindle down and we get into the third period, I'm seeing the percentages kind of even out, as I would expect. I'm going to get through this third period with a cough drop, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be good to go. If not, I don't have to wait until Wednesday because I'm starting to lose the voice. I was just getting all the stuff back there from COVID, so I can't really lose it now. I didn't expect to lose it this quickly because, again, we did have a game on Wednesday and Thursday, and I managed that just fine while I was still recovering. So I don't know. But we're definitely going to finish this game out, no doubt about it. Use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Established their game early on, and they've been basically outstructured, outworked at times 5-on-5. And then when you do get on the power play, they got outgoaled by Shahanic in that case. So even if they scored a power play goal there, they still would have been trailing 5-3. They would have had some more momentum. But even so, their game's not nearly where they wanted it to be.
Bedard scores one. Looks like he could have had probably 4 points in that period if things got a couple of bounces the other way.
Yeah, and talking about momentum and being able to manage it, he wasn't on the ice for that 5-minute major as well, so you can watch the ebbs and the flows of the game, but he comes out there and he is on fire. I mean, he is all over the ice. He did score in the game in the second period to start. I mean, coming off that crossover speed through the neutral zone. He knows the angle and he wants to take that puck, and he's a righty, so he knows that he's going to get inside that shot. Look at a little pause there, a little bit of a pause. He brings in, look at that short. That looks like Odom shot right there, doesn't it? And he just bears down on that. I mean, that is just an unbelievable shot, and it is just like, how about this play? He knows where he's going to move that puck to before he keeps it in. He knows that that puck's coming up to the blue line, drawing coverage, looking off the coverage, and making those brilliant passes that we saw in the first period. So you have to believe at some point that he is going to make some magic work out there and get on the board himself.
Massive pull for Canada heading the third period, down by 3 goals, 5 in Czechia. We saw this. Gord was mentioning it in the summer from the Czechs, where they upset the Americans in the quarterfinals inside their room. 20 minutes away from a big upset to open up the 2023 World Juniors.
Since the dawn of man, getting out has been hard. Whether it's for ED, or your mental health. For Vince, getting out is simple. It all starts with one small click to do. And you. And you. That can change everything for who you do. That's healthcare, as it should be. Thank you very much. Get started.
Why do you ride this? Sweaty Jam. Save up $500 on this IIHF Plus accessories. Get everything you need to start your fitness at OnePeloton.com. Terms apply.
Bundling personal style.
It's like that Stitch Fix. And how we want we can put shopping for you. You tell us the size, budget, and style.
Wait, is it a subscription? No. Style for me?
Always. We'll pick the clothes you enjoy the great fit. Stitch Fix.
Did I sign with me? Don't. NHL's best showcase their skills and provide insights on and off the ice. For it, and then drop the trust. How much time do we have there? This time on NHL Network.
So it is, again, just do a quick reset. 3 goals for Czechia in that second period. It was Fozil, Chemlar, and Matthias Mensik with their goals. Connor Bedard had the goal for Team Canada from Shane Wright and Kevin Korchinski. So Shane Wright's got a goal and assist. Connor Bedard's got a goal. But for Canada, it's pretty simple here for me. I don't care whether it's NHL, World Juniors, or anything else like that. Sometimes hockey's hockey, and I can call it the way that it is. Canada needs to play some defense. They've not done that at all in this game. And it's not because of the 5-1 scoreline, 5-2 scoreline. It's because of the 5-2 scoreline in the sense of the time and space that were allowed for those shots. That's unacceptable on that side. There really is nothing else to say about it. And I'm not really even a Team Canada fan. I'm on the United States side of the broadcast. But again, I'll always be happy for the brothers right across the bridge there on that side. But I mean, you could say it however you want to. Dennis Williams, if you don't lay into these kids a little bit, I understand you got 16, 17-year-olds in your under 20 tournament. You can't have defensive coverage like that. Anybody's going to be able to make you pay. So you would imagine on the Wednesday side when it's 6 Eastern and Canada plays Germany, that Canada probably gets a get right game. But for anyone that went ahead and assumed that this game was going to go one way, I said when we did it during the summertime and we watched Team Czechia knock out Team USA to get the bronze. It was a good team. And on the other side, a lot of them are returning here for Czechia. So Canada's got to check themselves at the door. It's a 5-2 score line. Main thing for me, again, you get goals within the span of minutes. So you want to knock off that checklist. The first 6 minutes, I think Canada's got to come out there. They got to at least get a goal, and then they can figure out and press after that. I know it sounds simple, but that's really the only way that they can think about it at this point. If we do get toward the, because I plan on covering some medal games as well next week. Hopefully, be able to cover the early game tomorrow, considering if I don't lose the voice or not. Hopefully not, because I'm starting to feel it a little bit. But again, that might be just COVID and all that. But Thursday will be the United States and Switzerland. Definitely be doing that one. Glad I did this one. It didn't turn out to. I didn't expect this kind of scoreline already. The previous World Junior Games, it was Switzerland beating Finland in overtime, 3-2. Sweden was all over Austria. They won 11-0. Sweden's going to play tomorrow against Germany. Latvia and U.S., it was a close game after 2 periods. It was 0-0 and then 2-2, but the United States got 3 unanswered goals in the third, pulled away 5-2. And now it's 5-2 scoreline the other way, courtesy of the Czech Republic, Czechia over Canada.
Call right now. Call 1-800-242-1404. 1-800-242-1404.
I will be giving you the play-by-play of the third period. If you do want to follow along with some streams, again, I know I'd get demonetized on YouTube, but I do see some World Junior streams. If you want to actually check it on NHL Network and get everything else live, or TSN, you can definitely do that. You don't have to follow alongside me, but I will give you the play-by-play nonetheless. So I appreciate you guys following along and jumping in and out between YouTube. I'm also on Twitter Spaces if you want some clearer audio. So both the shots on goal in both periods, 12-9, both sides. So 24-18 are the shots on goal right now. So the last time Czechia scored 5 goals against Canada was 1995 in the World Juniors. The last time they beat them was in 2014 in a shootout. So it's a crazy situation that we're in right now, but it is the situation that it is. Again, Czechia won the bronze and during the summer side of it, so you can't expect Canada to just walk right over them, or at least you shouldn't, as Czechia will get this back in the defensive end right now. They got a 3-goal lead. We'll see if Canada can press and get something here early within the first 6 minutes. 19:40 left to go in this third. It's a 5-2 scoreline in favor of Team Czechia. This is the opening round of games and the opening night. This is the final game of the night. 2023 World Junior Group A, as Tomas Suchanek makes the save in from deep. And Connor Bedard fired that one quickly, just trying to make something happen. And I don't blame him. He's going to go ahead and go right to the bench as they'll get their line change there for Coach Williams' squad. But Connor Bedard and Hinds and some of those other guys in that line, they've been very noticeable. But they're really the only ones because the defensive side has been completely indistinguishable. They've not even been there. It's like they're not even on the ice. So defensive zone face-off loss, and Canada gets a chance to get to this. And toward the left side of the red line, and the high slot shot goes way wide. Big rebound. Suchanek out of the net. And he doesn't even have his goal stick, although it's right next to him. So he's playing without the paddle right now. And Czechia just trying to get this out of the backhand, as this one's brushed away in the corner now. So Suchanek can't get to the goal stick. Czechia will get this one down, and now he probably has time to get to it, as this is iced. So Hlav was ready to go get his goal stick, but Czechia can't change their forwards. They're going to have to come back on the ice. So big time couple opportunities here for Canada. That one was fired to the right side of the inboards, and then a big block there. Let's see who this was going to be. It was in between Sturzik as well and Solzl for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Stanislav Solzl also might have got a piece of that. So Stankoven going to take the draw here for Team Canada, trying to win it clean. Joshua Waugh gets canceled off the puck, and now Czechia will just play this across the blue line now. John Iyer with you on the play-by-play for the World Junior Tournament. I'm going to try to be here tomorrow and Thursday for coverage. Tomorrow will be Germany, Sweden. Thursday will be Switzerland and the United States. This gets kept in by Del Mastro. Walking in the high side, and that one goes off the top of the right bar and stays out. Kevin Korchinski, patient, as a 17-year-old will get this one from the Chicago Blackhawks. Picked up now. Czechia will find it and get this one down the ice, as this is an icing. So Czechia is stuck with the same personnel once again. 18-16 left to go in the third. You can follow along on TSN. You can follow along on NHL Network if you want to get some live video coverage. If you want to listen to play-by-play with me, that shot was just off the high side of the top of the post, I believe, and then bounced to the right side of the post as Ostapchuk is getting mended at toward the player's bench. Might take a stick up in the mouth. And a shot goes off of Suchanek's goal stick and picked up now. Canada will get this one. Bedard will crisscross at one-timer. Broken stick there of one of the Czechian defenders, but they'll still emerge with it. This is red line to red line. One-on-one. Walking right in front. Milic with the save. Is it behind him is the question. It was frozen near the left side of the red line. Close call there, and good power move by Czechia right in front of the cage and forced Milic to make that save. 25 shots to 18 in favor of Team Canada, but they're down 3 goals. They need to get some previous, just like that. Olen Zellweger with the stick flex, he shot it. Zellweger with the shot was the one that his stick actually broke. But there was traffic in front. It was Brennan Othmann right on the doorstep trying to obscure the vision of Suchanek. I think that's what you have to do. Offensive zone face-off win, here for Czechia. And now Canada will collect. Joshua Waugh. Now Colton Dach. And a blatant tripping right in front of the Zebras there. Colton Dach, he got taken down. And that's not a good one there, as Martin Rasavi going to go to the box. 17:38 left to go in the third. So Canada going to be on the power play here with an opportunity. They can score one within that first 6-minute marker that I felt like I called. I felt like it has to happen. But we'll see how it goes. So there wasn't a lot there on the trip. That's what the TSN people are saying. But there was a stick right in front of the skate. And Doc did a great job. When you get there, you feel the stick. It kind of moved down like you need to. I think he did exactly what he had to do. That's called gamesmanship in certain areas. Hey, I'm not mad at that. And you're listening to a man from Detroit, Michigan here doing the broadcast on the side of it. So Rasavi going to the box. Canada has the power play. They're down 3. They need to score right now. They lost the defensive zone draw, but Czechia can't clear it. And now off the second attempt, Zellweger goes past his stick. And now this will be played by Thomas Milic. So Milic, now over Zellweger. Will pass it back to his defensive mate as they'll try to break in and try to power play quarterback this thing. Give and go near the left side of the red dot as this is picked up here by Canada. And Stankoven gets knocked off the puck. Now it's a race for it as Mahura tries to get to it here for Czechia. He's got some active forechecks and some series of stick lifts. We didn't catch anything unfairly. As this is picked up, Del Mastro has it now. And the high slot, nice drop pass as this is set up now near the right side. Dot will crisscross and give and go. Zellweger, hold, take his time. Good setup off the give and go 1T, and Zellweger fired it wide. This Suhanik didn't have a prayer to make a save though. Del Mastro walks in off the deflection, and that one gets knocked out of play. 16:40 left to go in the third. Canada's still got a minute 2 left to go in this power play. There's been a lot of penalties in this contest, and there's been 2 goals that have already been called back on both sides, one for Czechia, one for Canada. But at the same time, when you think about who's been the better team, and this is just being in all honesty, it's been Czechia. No question about it. From the word go, they've been ready to play in this game. So offensive zone draw win here for Canada, but this gets dumped down toward the left side of the red line. Canada will get this in behind the office of Suhanik. Pick it up now. Connor Bedard, patient. Extra cross pass toward the right side dot. Bedard wants it back in the high slot. Fake the slap shot. Now lets it go. Big rebound off of the left pad of Suhanik. Now it goes back to Bedard. Bedard's right underneath the circles. Wires a wrist shot. Gets it back. Another broken stick. One of the Czechian defenders have to play. Just try to box out and stop the rebounds. Another one. Suhanik makes the save. Othmann delivers a huge hit with one of the Zebras right in front, as this is still live. And Czechia is able to get this out of the defensive end. They need to frantically make some changes. Bedard, series of moves. What a stick handle. Tried to walk right in front of the blue paint as he got canceled off. Othmann got in the way as well as this gets dumped down the ice. So Czechia kills the penalty. 15:35 left to go in this third. Canada still down by 3, and they need to get a goal really soon. Joshua Waugh off the forehand. David Spacek knocks this one away. Waugh will recollect in between the broken twig and fire one, and this one goes just wide for Hinds. Hinds with another shot. Picked up in the high slot. Joshua Waugh couldn't shoot because Spacek was in his face. Waugh will collect, and now fire. Canada with Fantilli will settle this back down for Stankoven, and now Hinds. We'll get to it. Dach gets worked off the puck. Dach tries to find it there with Stankoven. Czechia will just get this out across the red line now. They keep killing the time of what they need to do, but here comes Canada again on the onside entry. Picked up here by Logan Stankoven. Dallas Stars product tries to wrap it around for Czechia right where they need to be, right in front of Suhanik, and they'll clear this one down. Here's a one-on-one the other way here for Czechia, but a series of forehand holding a little bit knocks the puck out of the way. Wow, lost it. Another shot gets fired. Milic makes the save with the right pad as this goes back to Connor Bedard. Bedard with the pass here to the other part of the forwards there with Othmann, and this gets knocked away. Stankoven will go ahead and take his change as they're all near the players' bench, and so is Czechia. They're right across the logo here for the World Juniors. Joshua Waugh off the backhand will fire one on Suhanik. We'll put it right in the breadbasket. 14:12 left to go in the third. Canada is now up 30-19 on the shot board, but they're behind 5-2 in the contest against Czechia. So David Urich got worked pretty hard to the left side of the boards, and then it was a chance for Zellweger off the deflection with the work of Stankoven, and then Connor Bedard in the high slot as that one got blocked. And off the backside of Shane Wright before it ever hit Thomas Suhanik. So 6 shots to 1 in the period in favor of the Canadians, but they're down 5-2. So Gaucher going to try to take the face off here for Czechia. Gets knocked away from the puck. Kevin Korchinski can't hold it here for Canada, and the Blackhawks product will play this one across D2D. So 3 of them are out there right now. Not in totality, but 3 of them on the team are Chicago Blackhawks products here for Team Canada, and high draft picks at that. Try to be part of that rebuild. Joshua Waugh with the help of Hinds. He's going to fire one. And now Waugh trying to find this in between a couple of stick lifts. Canada will keep this D2D. Kevin Korchinski tried to keep it alive, but Czechia will brush it away with the help of Urich. Spacek also in his face. Canada's got 3 players that are stuck in between the wrong side of the blue line, and there's a big hit toward the players' bench. Czechia will find it. They're going to kill some time right now as Canadian forwards just trying to take their change. This puck is near the players' bench between both sides. 13:15 left to go in the third. This touches the stick of Milic and now played left to right. That's where Connor Bedard hopes to be. Bedard gets the entry, makes a couple players look silly, and then he runs right into Sahanek. He never stopped. So Bedard slid right into the goaltender. I don't know if that was a gamesmanship play or one of those situations where he lost an edge. We're going to get a offsides the other way, a player stoppage after Sahanek and Bedard get a little bit of a collision, but I wonder if that was on purpose. Come right back. Just because Sahanek is in such of a rhythm, that's all I would say. So what do you guys think? I know what the voting line says. I started it, and it was no, and it was a heavy no, but it's starting to become a yes. It's 52% no right now, 52 to 48 as far as those votes. Keep them coming. I hope that you appreciate this game and coverage right now. I should be back tomorrow with an early game at 1:30 between Germany and Sweden, and then Thursday with World Juniors here for the United States and Switzerland. Wednesday should be a regular hockey segment with Cooper Hopkins if he's available. We'll cover the Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames, or if not, it'll be Detroit and Pittsburgh. But I think we'll cover the Flames and the Kraken, and he'll take the lead. New Year's Eve will be a little bit of off time here for me because recovering from COVID and all that. Finally get out of the house after 21 days at that point to be able to spend some time with the fiance. So it's nice to get some of these assignments right now. Again, if you want to watch hockey, this is the only coverage you got right now is the World Juniors, but this is a hell of a time for it. Right after Christmas on the 26th. Neutral zone face-off win here for Czechia. 13 minutes left to go in this final stanza. Canada's still down by 3. They got to make something happen right now, as this goes just wide of the outstretched stick of Connor Bedard. Again, he's supposed to be the #1 pick in the 2023 draft, but it's still a mystery where he'll go just yet, because he's got about 35 games played in the NHL right now. We hit the Christmas break. Othmann will go back, pick this up with Ethan Del Mastro as the D2D side here for Coach Williams and Team Canada. Again, you got to feel pretty good if you're Czechia throughout the whole game, and it's not just because of the scoreline, as there's an ice. They've just had complete control of the game. There really is no other way to say it. I know Canada's had some fits and starts. They've had a lot more shots in this third period, but Czechia has done what they needed to do. And again, you can say what you want about Gaudreau on the other side before he was pulled for Milic, that you wanted a couple more saves here and there, and I wouldn't disagree with you. But at the same time, I think you had to have a lot better defensive coverage. And Canada, I just don't think was ready to start on time with that defensive coverage. So Marcel on the draw. Yes, that is his name. This is picked up now on the fourth line side for Czechia. And the shot goes through the blue paint there as Milic had to make the save. And now you might have to touch this one with the goal stick as it's a battle near the left side of the red line. Can walk right in and fire from a sharp angle. And picked up now by Canada. Down to 12 minutes left to go. Logan Stankoven has it now for Othmann. And that one goes up the goal stick there. Sahanek. Jiricek will get it now as Czechia can touch back up, but Canada, nice forecheck in here. It's 3-on-2 the other way. If they can put this in toward the high slot, they might have an opportunity. Kevin Korchinski stuck now near the right side boards, but we'll try to collect. Stankoven also as well. One of the Czechian forwards took a stick up into the face, no call, and the zebra was right there, or at least maybe he tried to sell it. 11:30 left to go in the third. And now there will be a penalty. You might have got away with a stick to the face, but you didn't get away with a trip. And Canada going to be guilty of it. They're going to the box yet again. And this has been a big-time problem in this game. The discipline has not been there. The compete level has been there a little bit in the third. I will say that. I can't be inauspicious, but they've just not been smart this game. And Fantilli, instead of the stick, he got a little bit of the skate right in front of the player. And Williams wants a little bit of an embellishment on the other side for Coach Williams here for Canada. I don't think he's going to get one. So they're going to call things pretty tight in the WJCs, and that's what we're seeing right now. But I think some of these penalties, I think Canada can do themselves better favor against Germany in a couple of days and play out the way that they're used to playing. So 2 for 5 on the power play here is Czechia. They scored twice on the 5-minute major. that was assessed. And that was in the second period. Czechia has it now as the fans are doing the wave. They got it in the high slot. Will cross passes toward the right side dot. And check back up. Kulik tries to leave this one across here for Kos. And now Canada on the kill. Maybe try to make something happen. Even just trying to kill it, let alone down 3 goals. They might have to actually press with 10:55 left to go in the third. John out here with you, commentating from NHL Network on the stream side of it. Appreciate you following along on Twitter Spaces and the YouTube side. It's been active and it's been busy, so I appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. Zellweger trying to get to it now, as there's just 3 Canadians and 2 Czechians, as they're just keeping this and killing time toward the left side of the boards. And honestly, for Czechia, I think that's the right strategy. Kulik finally wins it, as this goes back toward the D side for Svozil. Svozil, now spot check. He'll fire through the screen. It goes wide of Milic toward the right side of the red line. Canada tries to find it. Spot check. We'll get this one back from a Uric pass. Kulik holding and spinning. Kulik will get it now. He'll fire through the screen as this goes up the stick shaft of Milic. Canada will get this down as this hits Sahanik. And now spot check. We'll play it quickly. We've hit the halfway marker of this third period. Czechia on the power play for 20 more seconds. They're up 5-2, and they could get a serious divisive win over the Canadians, who were considered to be the heavy favorites. Not saying they won't be and still lifting the gold, but this would be a surprising result. Not just the score line, but the amount of the score line that it is. 3 goals, not even a loss. Nice walking pass off the blue paint. It's loose. Milic with a couple stops, and somehow it stays out, and Canada survives. They want the cross pass on the other side for Othmann, excuse me. And that one goes just wide. Milic will pick it up as this can finally get clear. Their spot check has some help, and they're with David Uric, and they can finally take some changes. Don't know how that didn't go in for Czechia's 6th goal of the game, but it's still 5-2. 9 minutes left to go in the third. Shane Wright is out there right now for Team Canada. Member of the Seattle Kraken. He was the 3rd pick last year. Is held down. Olen Zellweger trying to spin this around the kick plate. And Sahanik will watch it go by. Canada, as there's a battle for the puck, picked up by Czechia near the left side dot, dumped down the ice. This is everybody, so it's an icing against Czechia. They cannot change. 8:42 left to go in the third. This score line, again, for every single minute that passes, it gets a little more surprising here. I appreciate everyone that's been following along on the YouTube side. And again, as I expected, in between that vote total, I threw this out there early. In between 24 votes, I know some of them have been early, some of them have been late. It's been split 12-12. Is Czechia going to get an upset of Team Canada? It's 50-50, say you guys right now. So Milic is 2023 draft eligible out of the WHL. He is the backup goaltender. And as Gaudreau was pulled, Milic had to be put in. So here's a chance now for Canada. When offensive zone draw, they do. Ostapchuk fires, and that one is to the screen as this is picked back up. Ostapchuk go back into zone end with Zellweger. As they're out right now, they'll fire this now toward the right side red line and clear it in. Canada really needs to go all systems go at this point as they're down to 8:20. All offense, it really doesn't matter how much you lose by. Again, I understand it does matter on the scoreline sheet of it if there was ties or point considerations, but I still feel like you have to press and try to get within a couple and then get a chance to pull the goalie. At least give one more goal here to 5-3, give you a chance to pull the goalie. That would be my guess. 8 minutes left to go in the third. John out here with you on the call from NHL Network. It's Czechia and Canada, final game of the night in Group A. This is the opening round. Czechia and Canada. Canada crisscross. Nice open cross pass out with the fire. And Sahanik says no with the goal stick. 7:40 left to go in this third. Stankoven will get this one to an open right wing side. And Othmann to Bedard, but that one just too far from the outstretched pass on the stick. Czechia. Svozil tries to get to it now with Marcel. Here's a chance for the Hura. They'll shoot one. And Milic hits it with the left pad and knocks it aside. It's in behind his office, though. Czechia. Every time they get down here, they're just trying to kill some time and push this puck underneath the glass. They know how important this is right now to be able to kill time and still play that trap and knock everything away on defense. And that's what you're seeing right now. Attention to detail. So Juracek, Kevin Korchinski. So Juracek and Spacek, again, just to update everybody, they're both Columbus Blue Jackets products, and they both look really good in this game right now, considering. And I think that says a lot. Spacek with a shot after a long dump in, and that one gets stopped by Milic. It's 4-on-2 the other way. Connor Bedard leading the rush. Joshua Waugh, Othmann, Bedard trying to hit this out of the air, and that got knocked away by Sahanic. This goes across the center ice logo. Picked up now Sposal with a fire, and this one gets canceled off by the Canadian defense. Canada, Logan Stankoven, big hit on the other way. Spacek knocked them off the puck. Canada will collect for the mid-center ice line, but a good active stick check, and an active stick gets knocking a hand out of the wood out of the hands there, and Canada will be guilty of another penalty. And let me see if I can go ahead before we get into the commercial break and count how many that is on that side of it. So let's just do this really quickly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, one of these was also a match penalty for Dean, where he was done for the rest of the game. So 5 penalties for Canada. They got to clean this up. They're down 5-2, and they're on the kill when we come back. My apologies, guys. I'm trying to keep everything else here together as far as cough drops, keeping things hydrated, and keeping it full bore here because I want to do the early assignment tomorrow before we get another World Juniors on Thursday. I think it's going to be usual partner in crime, Cooper Hopkins, us doing a Calgary Flames Seattle Kraken game on Wednesday. So that'll be the NHL assignment. I'll let him take the lead on that and do the play-by-play. I'm sure he'll be feeling better. Not being stuck with the holiday travel, being stuck in a heat register and losing his voice.
The break in the penalty box, which has been part of the score of the game, continues. And it's another one that's a tap for the back check. That is nothing. That's a hook. Brandt drops his stick, and I guess if you don't really call the penalty, someone touches your stick, you should drop it. Right. So, she does a lot of talking to the officials.
So they'll say this in the World Juniors, and I heard this a couple times during the TV side broadcast, but I'm trying to reiterate to you. Some of these penalties have not been too many penalties, but they're calling it tight right now, so you got to be able to stay disciplined. It's the 6th power play here for Czechia, and that's what's coming up with the 5. Here's the 6 now. Sposal holds. He's going to fire one through the screen. Another one. This one gets stopped by the stick of Milic, but not cleared down. Canada desperately needs to kill this one, but they're really running out of time to let alone even get a win. They're down 5-2 with 5:50 left to go, and they're on the kill. Sposal will get this one across. They'll get it back now in the high slot. They'll fire again in through the screen, and this one gets stopped by Milic. Stankoven will slap shot this one down the ice as this hits Tomas Sahanic. So now Sposal with Juracek. Juracek has it now. Again, both Columbus Blue Jackets products are out there right now. And Shella will get it. Get this across the left side of the dot. Shella gets worked over there by Kevin Korchinski, as he's also out there as well. Sposal trying to buy some time, and he does. At least there's one man back there for Czechia. Again, they just want to make sure they don't give up anything crazy right now. They got a 3-goal lead with 5 minutes left to go in this third. This could be a massive score line here for Team Czechia. Again, they won the bronze during the summertime, and that was a COVID-shortened pause of a reason why they wouldn't normally play at that time to make that up. And now they're going back to the normal time now. But the point is, Czechia was able to get a bronze 6 months ago. So for them to have this kind of scoreline, yeah, it's a little more decisive than you would expect, but they're a good team. So picked up now toward the left side of the red line. This is loose in the high slot. Milic trying to get a glove on it. Second rebound opportunity. He swallows this one up. 4:33 is now there's some pushing and shoving toward the bottom of the pile. One of the Canadian players trying to get a couple of punches there. That was Mastro and Zellweger trying to double team on another Czechian player. 4:33 left to go in the third. So good contest either way. Regardless of whoever you're rooting for, I know if you're a Canadian fan, I think he would be not feeling so good after one game. But again, I think this is one of those situations where I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Czechia has played the better game, but I do think Canada will have a little bit of a wake-up call going into the game against Germany in a couple of days, and I think they'll right the ship and they'll be there when it's all said and done. But if you're Czechia, I think the main thing you want to do in the next game, and I know it's obvious to say, but you got to build on this result because this is a serious confidence builder for everything that this team is trying to do. So Czechia has it now in the high slot. Uric will get this one dumped in deeper. Canada kills the penalty, but they only have 4:15 left to work with in this game to try to get 3 goals. And that certainly seems like that's going to be not happening at this point. But here comes Canada now, left to right across your radio dial. Stankoven tries to get to it. Ostapchuk as well. As this Canada has pulled the net, Milic is gone. It's 5-2, the scoreline. Canada needs 3 goals, and they've moved the net pole with 3:50 left to go in the third. They have a 6-on-5 advantage right now, but they need 3 goals. Fire one in the high slot, and Sahanic makes the save. 3:44 left to go in this third. It's been a scoreless third period, but Czechia likes it that way, as they're up 5-2 with a chance to do something pretty decisive against the Canadians. You get a win here in the opening rounds. Come right back. Again, I know I've said this, but I appreciate everyone that's bounced in and out between this game, between the World Junior Championships, between Czechia and Canada. It's been pretty active. It's been pretty busy. Not as active on the comments section, but very active in the voting side. And you guys have been jumping in and out. I know there are some live feeds you can probably check on the YouTube side. I don't want to get demonetized, so you're just going to get the play-by-play and stuff from me. I will be back tomorrow for Germany and Sweden, and then Thursday for United States and Switzerland. Wednesday is just going to be a regular NHL assignment. I'll let Cooper Hopkins take the lead. He'll do the play-by-play. I'll do the color between Seattle Kraken and the Calgary Flames if he's available. So Canada is going to play Germany on Wednesday, Austria on Thursday, and then the weekend game will be against Sweden on New Year's Eve. All those games are going to be in Halifax. So, as it stands, Canada trying to win an offensive zone draw. They're down 5-2 with the net pull. Czechia about to get a big-time result here if they can hold on with 3:30 left in the third. It certainly feels like they're going to do so right now. There's been no goals in this third period. As Czechia scored 3 in the second, it is a 5-2 scoreline. Canada trying to keep this alive. Shane Wright out there with Brennan Othmann. Othmann looking for Wright, and this one goes down the ice. A race for the puck, but Del Mastro will get to it before it touches the yawning cage. And now Del Mastro will play this one across. Connor Bedard's been the zone entry man. He's going to get this one cleared across the red line now. Othmann can't get to it. Czechia will dump this down the ice off the backhand. They have iced it. 2:57 left to go in this third. 5-2 scoreline for Czechia. They can get a big couple of points here. Again, I think this might be 3 points for the World Junior Tournament, but nonetheless, a regulation win and a regulation loss, which will net you nothing, like it usually is in the NHL side. Canada would be looking at a bagel spot in the first game, but again, over the next couple of games, I think they'll right the ship against Germany, Latvia, and things like that. But this definitely has to be an eye-opener. Coach Williams is going to take a timeout. 30-second one at that, so we're going to get the live timer here with 15 seconds as it goes across. So as I've said, in this contest, it was Svozil, Chemlar, and Matthias Mensik, your goal scorers in the second period for Czechia. Connor Bedard had the only goal of the second for Team Canada. But it's been a game where, even though Canada has pressed a little bit in the third, they've got more shots. Thomas Sahanic has been excellent in net for Czechia. They've played much better defense. Team Canada has not played much defense at all. A couple of those Michigan wraparounds that Connor Bedard had, and yes, I said Michigan wraparound. He did it twice, although he didn't score. It looked like a game that was going to be all offense here for Canada. They thought that they would take the rocket ship and score, but their defense, there's been shots in the slot. Everything's been non-existent, and that's why they're behind in this game. So Bedard going to fire one. This goes right in the breadbasket. Hold on. So Hanek makes the save. 2:47 left to go in the third. So I would expect for Team Canada have to go into this next game against Germany. And I don't care about everything else. You would assume that they would get the win. Figure out your defense, get everything else all squared away, hit the reset button completely, and then just move on from it. You know you have the personnel to be able to do everything else that you want to do. You just got to stick to the basic things and do it right. You cannot hold Gaudreau out to dry. Yes, maybe a couple pucks, especially the last one he should have stopped as it bled right through him, but still. Too many shots in the wide open slot that could not be saved. And I don't see a lot of blame. So Hanek makes the save as he's able to knock it away with a hand behind him. And now 2:25 left to go. Othmann has it now off the cross pass, and this one gets bounced off of one of the Czechian sticks and goes back down the ice. Del Mastro will touch up. Leave it here for the partners. They'll crisscross and try to go left to right. Olen Zellweger now gets this one deep, so Hanek will knock it aside to the right side of the red line. Picked up now by Canada. Othmann lost it. And now Ostapchuk will get it. Sahanek will hit this one with the goal stick. Czechia down to 1:50 left to go. They have a chance to get a big time win right now. It's 5-2. Canada brushed it out in front. So Hanek knocked this one ahead as there was a glove hand that got knocked out, but they're still live right now. As Del Mastro get it down deep. So Hanek makes the save off the clear. Again, that's going to count as another shot against as this is picked up. Kos, play this one. As the net is still empty, but another icing against Czechia. They've been able to change a little bit here and there. Canada's had some pressure with the empty net, but Czechia, again, they're just playing right in front of Sahanek, trying to make the saves that they can make, trying to keep everything in front of him, and he's been terrific. 1:30 left. 40 shots against Sahanek. He's made 38 saves. That's the unofficial numbers right now. 26 shots for Czechia. Face-off lost. As Canada has another one with Brandt Clarke. Brandt Clarke will crisscross with $1:20 left to go. It's Connor Bedard trying to center it back, and Clarke will pick it back up. And now it's 6-on-5 still. Fired into the screen. Sahanek watched it go wide to the right post. Clarke tried to center this back out in front as this is picked up by Czechia. And another penalty is called against Canada. This one is for tripping with 1:09 left. So that really is going to do it right now. Czechia, they're going to take this game 5-2, or maybe more, maybe less. But with 1:09 left to go in this third, that's it. Brandt Clarke is going to be called for tripping as he got Barbercheck. And there's really just nothing you can do. Canada's been sloppy. They've committed 7 penalties. Maybe you can say 3 or 4 of them are actually penalties. It's been a tight game both ways across, and I wouldn't lie to you. But they need to find a hell of a lot better effort in the game against Germany than they did against Czechia. But I give Czechia full marks. They played an exceptional game throughout. They've been the better team, and they definitely deserve this line because they've definitely competed. So, Rama will get it now. Here for Czechia. Again, this will be window dressing, but it's a power play as we're down to 55 seconds left to go. Czechia has it now. Near the right side dot will crisscross and take their time. Uric has it as he gets it back from the back pass. And again, Czechia just going to kind of salt this away right now. This is going to be a puck that's going to be moved around, but I don't think Czechia is going to look to shoot. They're just going to try to kill as much time as possible. Canada knows what's in front of them right now. They've opened the WJC tournament with a loss. They're down by 3 with 24 seconds left, and all that's left is the final scoreline, but we know who the team winner is going to be. So Hamannik has it now. Czechia just taking their time moving this in between the D to D and between the left and right as the sticks are being pounded, and the heavy Canadian crowd, again, is the tournament, that's where it's taking place. They are stunned. Your final score, Czechia has won the last game of the night. They knocked off Team Canada 5-2 in the opening round. Unbelievable result as all the Czechian players, they give a big hug to Thomas Suchanek, and he's definitely been the man of the hour right now. He made some fantastic saves, and Czechia played a wonderful game. They take the winner in the final game of the night. They knock off Team Canada 5-2. Full game coverage and everything else is going to follow at hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. We'll get the full play-by-play on this just in case you missed it. As always, guys, have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for Germany and Sweden. Peace. Thank you guys, humbly, for following along here. I'm going to go ahead and write the story, get everything else squared away, and I will put this in the comment section box when it's all done. Peace.